You're locked into Boost SNOT, the Leafs playoff pulse in real time. This ain't the same soft squad from years past. These Leafs are hard-hitting, shot-blocking, sandpaper strong, and built for the grind. Defensive term-setting swagger locking me down. This team fights back. And the crease, a stellar duo of flashing leather. Strong forecheck, no free ice. Watch what happens when the big guns get loose. The playoffs are here, and the question isn't if they're tough enough. It's how deep this grit can take them. Let the snot drip.
You know, we need a little bit more snot to our game, and I think they both bring a little bit of that. So we felt it was good to issue. I think there's a, you know, when you get into, as much as the game's changed, some things have never changed. At the most important times, the rink shrinks. There's no space. You need courage, and we wanted to, you know, we wanted to add players like that. We've got really high level, and I think we've got a ton of them in this room. You need character in your team, and sometimes you need some characters. You know, it's not all fighting and all the rest of it, but I just felt, you know, both on the ice and in our room and around our team, we need a little bit more noise.
The past is the past. This is a different group. Every year there's new people. Every year you've got experiences from, you know, the year past. So that's what we're focused on right now. We're focused on this group of players, things that we've done here this year, and all that now gets parked. You know, you say at the beginning of the season, everybody starts from zero. Same thing now. Everything that's happened in the 82 games is to prepare you for what's coming next. But none of it is relevant. And none of it gives you any kind of leg up starting Sunday. So what's happened before is what's happened before, and now we're ready to write a new chapter.
What's going on? Blue Snot. Leafs Game Time. Live. Go Leafs Go remix. How y'all feeling? Game 4. The Leafs are up 3-0 in the series. The Sens got themselves in a tough spot tonight. Will they be able to dig themselves out of this hole and not get swept? Or are the Leafs going to turn their sticks to brooms and leave the Senators dusted? We're about to find out. Keep it tuned in. Go Leafs Go.
summertime. You know, it's in the summertime too. They got skills coaches and they work on all kinds of things and they improve. And I think Benny's one of those guys. I mean, he's always been a hard defender, a big guy, plays a hard game, heavy game. But he's more. It seems like he's grown this year with his puck plays, more confident.
When you look at the minutes your D are playing, there's not a big gap there. I mean, is that something you like? Is it, how is that sort of materialized?
Well, I think playoff hockey, you need, like I've said, we need everybody, right? You need everybody to, if you could keep the minutes good, like it keeps guys fresh, more energy. We use all our players, we use all our D. They've been good for us. I think we got a good combination with the pairs and how they work. So that's why you see a lot of minutes are pretty equal out there.
I mean, it's a real challenge, too, for Ottawa. They've got to flip this script around. They've got to get the lead and stick with it for a while here and see what happens, right?
Yeah, but you can't just see what happens, right? You have to sort of elevate, right? And someone's got to be an unsung hero, and someone's got to step up and take over the game, right? And that's for me. We've already noticed, we've mentioned the unsung heroes for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I'm looking for Perron and Zetterlund or Stützle. Giroux's been doing his best, but he's 35 years old too. I haven't heard much from Jake Sanderson or Shabbat, right? So I think that's what the playoffs is about. But this is an inexperienced team with regards to playoffs. Some of these guys, it's their first time even playing in a Stanley Cup playoff series. So I think they need to elevate. But this is going to be experience. It's going to help them going forward. But I think it might be a little bit too late for them to perform. But someone's got to step up and do it quickly because this series can be over a lot sooner than later.
Well, personally, I think Ottawa's really going to have to dig in if they want to make this a series, because they're treading water, obviously. That's to say they've been in every game. They've been within a goal a couple times of winning. So what do they need tonight? They need to score first, and they need to stay on every puck, but they have to play clean, hard and clean. There's a difference between hard and clean and hard and dirty. And for the Leafs, what do they need to do? They need to play their game. Strong D, block shots, keep the Leafs to the outside, keep them to the outside, play their game. Their guns are going to get their opportunities. What we need is to limit mistakes so that the Sens don't get their opportunities. That's my opinion on how either team could win. The first goal, obviously important in this kind of elimination game. But after that, will the inexperienced Sens take hold of their fate? Or will the battle-tested and annoyed with the losses they've already faced in the past new-look Maple Leafs show their true grit and snot and close it out and bring out the brooms? We're going to find out. It's close to puck drop. Put a Go Leafs Go in the chat.
As good as you can get. I think you can get slightly better, but for what they've done there, it's a major upgrade to what they've had. And when I look at the Sens blue line, it's got a lot of promise. There's no question about that. It's got offense. I don't know that it has the size or the grit.
Yeah, I think you're correct in that assessment, right? And I can tell you this: if Treliving could have a Thomas Chabot or a Jake Sanderson, I think he would take that tenfold. But he's done an amazing job building. I would say, he built a 4 a 4-man lineup or a 5-man lineup with number 3 and 4 defensemen. Like, he does not have a bona fide number 1, and that's no slight on Morgan Riley, but he doesn't, right? And you look at, Jake Sanderson had 57 points this year. No Leafs touched anything close to that, but the system and the structure, they built this blue line to complement what the system is, and they're thriving. And it's no slight on this Ottawa Senators team. They do have some promising players. Jake Sanderson is going to be an all-star a lot sooner than later. You saw Clevin sort of have a pretty decent series as well. Montempolo as well, saw him at the Four Nations, so it's done pretty well. But I think they're just the experience or lack thereof has sort of been the reason why they're struggling. But they haven't been outclassed. I can tell you this, the Ottawa Senators have not been outclassed. They've been outworked in certain places. The specialty teams battle they've lost, but this is the team building towards the future, and it's just not their year this year through 3 games, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, the opening faceoff is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the link.
Hey, do you ever wonder how life...
And of course, the hero last game, Simon Benoit. Now, didn't they try and switch the goal to Nyes and then switch it back after or something like that? If I was Nyes, I would definitely not be claiming that goal. Give it to Benny. Either way, Simon Benoit instrumental on both overtime winning goals. In the playoff time, it takes a lot of grit and a lot of snot, but it also takes unlikely heroes. And of course, the synchronicities with the Corey Cross goal just proves that there's a lot of rhyming in the fractal that we call reality. That's neither here nor there right now. Right here, right now, we're talking about the Leafs bringing home the 4th game right here tonight. Can they do it? Do they have the killer instinct to finish the job? The Sens are going to come out strong and hard. They're going to play a tough game. The fate is in their hands. Same with the Leafs. They got a lot of demons to face when it comes to closing out a series. This team has proven to be different this year. Let's see if they're prepared to show some killer instinct.
Lemieux or Howe, and I think it's Sidney Crosby for all-around play.
Go Leafs, go. You are tuned in to Blue Snot. Go Leafs, go. Live remix.
or Tampa. Anthony Stolarz gets the start in goal. A 1.96 goals against average. A 9.26 save percentage in this series. Ironically, it mirrors what he did in the regular season. A 9.26 save percentage. Linus Ullmark was much better in Game 3 than he was in Games 1 or 2. A lot more Leaf fans in attendance at Canadian Tire Centre in Ottawa this evening as we're ready to go. The teams are at center ice, and the puck is dropped, and we're underway. We're glad that you're along with us. Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph. Cleared to the Leaf zone, and it is Riley punching it up on the right wing side for Marner. He overskates it, but Riley gets it ahead, and it's banked in over the line by Knives. Into the corner go the Sens, and Sanderson gets it up on the wing, and now Amadio gets to center, and it'll be rolled down into the Toronto zone. Riley being pressured hard there by Ridley Gregg, who ends up with a bit of a hit. Matthews gets to center and gets it down into Ottawa territory. Knives with a hit into the corner, but the Sens are able to bank it out at center ice, and Kachuk will backhand deep into the Toronto zone to get a change of players started. Jake McCabe slides it off on the wing, and Tanev gets it out. Shot right back in again by Ottawa on a delay. Handling it for the first time with Stolarz. Pass into the slot area is stolen by the Senators, and a shot went wide. Now a drive is blocked in front of the net. Cousins in the corner playing it around into the near boards. Trying to get it freed up there was Giroux. A shot steered wide by Stolarz. Nylander unable to track it, and now the Leafs have it back in their own zone. McKay dishing it off for Tanev. He'll get it back, and he gets it up on the wing now for Lawton. Scotty Lawton got it into the offensive zone. Hustling in there is Lorenz to take it away there from Stutzla. He got upended on a hit by Yarncrook.
Can generate the same amount of pressure they've been pulling all series.
Stolen again. Leafs bring it right
so
back.
far, yes.
Here's Lorenz in over the line. Playing it down into the left wing corner for Yarncrook. The Sens are able to get it along the boards, but not out. Along the wall, it is Lawton fighting for it as is pinned in along the wall. Grabbed by Clevin. And the Senators will have it. You can hear the Go Leafs Go chant from our nation's capital as we get an icing call here against the Ottawa
Definitely seen a little more blue in this game than last game.
Talking before we came on air, covered about just about every scenario that you could look at for this game. 4 times in NHL history has a team been able to come back from a 3-0 deficit. Although there have been a few that have been close, which included the Stanley Cup Finals last year. The Edmonton Oilers coming back, winning 3 straight on Florida before the Panthers won it.
Riley with a wrist shot. First save made by Ullmark. Puck around the boards for Domi. Back to the point, Riley. D to D it goes on the far side. Brandon Carlo's shot didn't make it through. And the Senators have punched it the length of the link. Wait a minute. The length of the rink.
The length of the rink.
There's an icing. I knew I made the mistake. Oh, sure. Laugh now. Laugh now when your tongue is working properly.
You know what I was laughing at?
I laugh at myself when I stumble all the time. Don't worry.
So yeah, I know he meant to say.
I know. Yeah.
Mistake was saying.
And so did everyone else. And he's got marbles in his mouth. Played to the line. Leafs keep it in. Riley down into the corner. Marner sends it back to the net. Knives tracks after it in the far corner. Kept in there by the Leafs. It comes into the slot for Matthews. On the wing for Riley. Oh, and he snapped it just wide of that far post. And it caroms all the way down into Toronto territory. First real good scoring chance for either team. Ekman Larson back in the Toronto zone. A pass up on the wing for Nylander. Nylander eludes one check, got it to the line, but didn't get it into the zone deep. Back come the Sens as they play it in for Shane Pinto. Benoit, Game 3's hero, gets it up on the wing, and now Tavares starts out with a chip pass ahead for Pontus Holmberg. It rolls past everyone down on the inboards. Tavares is able to scoop it away. Can't get it in front, however, and David Perron comes to center with Jensen. Pass intercepted by the Leafs and played back on the boards, but Tavares runs into traffic but is able to come away with it. Up ahead for Holmberg. Holmberg to center, just gingerly playing it into Ottawa territory to allow a change. No score. We played 3.5 minutes of period number 1. Glad you're along with us wherever you may be. We're here in Toronto, and the Leafs have a 3-0 lead on the Senators as it's played around the boards and out at center ice. And we get a whistle here and a high stick making contact with the puck. We'll stop play with 16:17 to go in the first.
3-0 series lead for the Leafs. 0-0 in the first period, game 4.
Trying to protect it, doing a pretty good job, and then kicked it free for Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who plays it around to the near corner, but it's cut off there by Stützle. A long pass, high off his stick, goes to the right wing side, kept in there by Stützle, and it goes into the corner. Looking for a pass in front of the net, Batherson taken to the boards by Oliver Ekman-Larsson and knocked down. Pacioretty will get it out into the center ice area. Domi chasing after it as it's punched down into Ottawa territory. Sanderson circles the goal with Domi forcing him back behind the net. Sanderson starts out. Drops it back for Artem Zhu. Sorry, I mispronounced it. Brought out at center ice and brought to the line and in by Ottawa. Shot goes off a skate of Brandon Carlo. Nice. Playing it ahead, and now Marner. A saucered pass for Riley on the left wing. A long, easy shot handled easily by Olmark. And back of the net, Nick Jensen will play it up on the right wing boards. And out at center it comes. Amadio dropping it back in a pass into the slot. A bouncing puck knocked into the corner by the Maple Leafs. Pinto goes in there after it. Back of the net trying to free it up. Amadio looking along the boards and in front of the net for Greg. Comes back to the point. D to the near side for Jensen. Jensen into the middle of the ice on his backhand. Drops the puck back. Shabbat to the far side. Another block in front of the net by the Maple Leafs. And it's
Keep
probably
blocking
a
those
real
shots.
good block because Stolars looked like he was kind of flailing around in there, didn't he, Jim?
Yeah, and then the Matthews line as well was out at the end of a long shift.
Played by McCabe out at center. Brought to the line and in. A hit there knocks down Pontus Holmberg into the corner. A Leaf hit into the corner there on the defense. And a long pass goes off his stick to center ice and Nylander turns. Willie has it along the boards on the far wing and circles back, trying to get some skating room. Nylander coming to the red line. Shoots it in on the left wing for Tavares. A long shoot into the right wing corner. Nylander there to play it along, but it doesn't reach Pontus Holmberg. And now the Sens will get it out at center ice. And Giroux launches it high into the left
Put
wing
some pepper
corner.
on that pass.
Cousins gets in there. Dylan Cousins getting it back to the point. D to the near side to zoom into the slot, a shot. And that deflected by the rebound on the far side is stopped by Stolars. Leafs are going to get it airmailed high to center ice and into Ottawa territory to allow a change. Giroux playing it in on the right side. And we're going to get an icing call here. Stützle is a non-believer. And doubled over at the bench there is Montepallo, who got something happened to him. Seems to be all right.
We talked about this before going on the air as well. You'd really like the Leafs came out and controlled game 1. Since then, games 2 and 3, they've sort of sat back. They've managed the game well. They've played the score well. But you would like to see some more stretches where they dominate the offensive zone.
Yes.
And I understand if
But
you've
not
got
at
a
the
formula
cost
that's
of
worked,
making mistakes.
you want to stay with it. You've never felt like they've been in trouble or they've been just hanging on. We also think there might be a little more there.
Lawton line out for Toronto. The puck is shot into the Toronto zone. Lawton gets it ahead for Lorenz. Lorenz rings it around the boards to the far side. It comes back to the blue line, kept in there by Toronto Lawton, but it is intercepted now and brought out at center ice by Batherson. He'll get it to the Leafs blue line, and it's shot in. Puck goes around the boards, and Lorenz launches it high to center ice. Backpedaling with it, Clevin got it to the line on the right wing side. A shot that was off the glove of Stolarz. And Batherson was in position for a rebound, but the Leafs cleared it away from him. Up on the left wing now and brought out by Pacioretty to Bobby McMahon going wide, and a shot up and a good one just off the elbow of goaltender Olmark. Back to the point, a shot is stopped. There's a big rebound in front. Pacioretty couldn't reach it. It goes down into the corner, and Giroux and Shabbat rather will get it out at center and play it down into the Toronto end. Stolarz playing it around the boards for McCabe. McCabe gets it ahead off Bobby McMahon, but not into the zone deep, and now it's cleared right back down into the Toronto end. Benoit reverses the puck nicely, and the Maple Leafs defense has McCabe banking it off the near boards and out and down the ice. This will be an icing against Toronto. 12:01 to go in a scoreless first period. Toronto with 4 of the 6 shots that have been taken in the game.
Going back to that point of making where you like to see longer stretches. So they haven't done that in this game, but they've only given up 2 shots. If you go last few games 2 and 3, third period and overtime combined, they gave up 2 shots last game in the third period. They gave up 5 in overtime in the third period of game 2. So, they've been able to protect lead.
Oh, did Pinto just get a penalty?
Kind of that dominance at the other end as well. What do we got here? Is Ottawa making a line change?
I don't know.
He just kind of pushed into the referee trying to get at Domi.
Now there's a penalty.
Boy, Domi's going. Is this unsportsmanlike? I
Domi?
Didn't see anything that would have happened.
Pinto hit the referee.
Just getting ready to drop the puck in the face-off circle.
Okay, there's that.
Oh, Domi, I think gives Shane Pinto a shot. It was the fake drop puck.
But then they didn't show when Pinto charged through and hit the linesman.
That's a chintzy.
Well, we'll take a break as Ottawa goes to the power play.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050.
Jazz, born in America, celebrated worldwide.
Let's see this.
And this month, some of the brightest stars shine in exclusive live performances across SiriusXM. Hear legends Bob James and Lee Rittenauer, the 2025 NEA Jazz
But see,
Masters concert, and more.
After the stick, he pushes through, and they turn the angle fast, but he pushes through and hits the linesman. And the linesman boots him out. I don't know what the rule is on that. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to touch the linesman. I know that wasn't on purpose. And Domi, I guess, getting called for the stick to the face. I think that's what happened here. Right call, wrong call, not my call to make.
Are a man short for the first time in the game. The Senators are 2 for 9 on the power play. One of the goals of 5-on-3 effort.
So the Sens got a chance. Let's see if they take advantage of it. But also it's a chance for the Leafs to really lock it down. It's intense.
Come up with it, and a bad pass is going to clear the zone, forcing Ottawa back into neutral ice. Cousins dropping it back. Sanderson on the wing, intercepted by Matthews, and just enough to create an offside with Brady Tkachuk there. And so the faceoff coming outside the Toronto blue line.
It's amazing how many penalties we've seen in this series have not been about defending, right? It's not about you took a penalty to take away a scoring chance. A lot of them have been undisciplined, and Unfortunately for the Leafs and Max Domi, that one's got to go into that category.
Face off outside the blue line. Off a skate, it goes into the zone. Benoit hammers it on the boards and gets it into Ottawa territory. Sanderson trying to work his way up on the left wing. Drops the puck back. Leaf got interfered with, and Yarncrook was knocked down. The puck comes back to the point. Now on the right side for Cousins. Into the corner. Back to the blue line once more. Sanderson to the left wing side. Kachuk holding, doesn't shoot it. Got it back to Sanderson again.
Here's
Near
their
side
chance.
and the drive scores.
There it is.
Senators get the opening goal on a bullet from Stutzla. And it's 1-0 on a bad penalty taken by Max Domi. And the Senators get the opening goal.
This is what I said. You make a mistake, and you might have to pay for it.
Spot in a 2-1 win over the Leafs.
Good on the Sens for this one, because they needed it.
But this is Stutzla in the right wing circle. Left-handed shot. Ends up taking the pass from Sanderson, middle of the ice to the right wing circle, and Stutzla just blasts the one-timer over the left shoulder of Anthony Stolar's glove side to give Ottawa their second lead of the series.
Penalty kill was brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. It wasn't successful. 1-0 Ottawa. Puck in the Toronto zone. Flipped ahead. Brought on by Morgan Riley. Up ahead it comes to Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg upended there and knocked down by Jensen. The puck goes into the corner. And Gregg trying to get it out. Has to go off a skate into the near corner. Now played ahead by Jensen to center. Senators will get it down into the Leaf end. Amadio sending it in there. A hit by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and it looked like that hurt Ridley Gregg. Long shot is knocked away, and it goes around back of the net. Amadio trying to come out with it. One of the Leafs got upended in front of the net. Holmberg trying to get after his man in the corner, and it is Pinto getting it into the slot. Perron couldn't shoot it, and then when it was shot, it was deflected off the stick of Cousins into the corner. Kept alive by the Senators as they send it around the boards to the far side. Nylander doesn't get it out. The Leafs get it freed up now, and now it is played ahead. Nylander chipping it, and it's going to go down to the line, but no icing.
Leafs better snap out of this, Joey. Not sort of 4-3 Toronto, but Ottawa's starting to come. They're energized because of the power play goal.
Played ahead at center for Nyes. Nyes will play it deep into Ottawa territory. Sanderson gets there first. Played it ahead. Cousins trying to come out with it. A long lead pass deflects into the zone.
They're all right. They just got to play their game, guys.
Back of the net, gets
They'll
it
get it back.
returned, and we'll find a man in Marner who plays it quickly ahead, and out come the Leafs to center. Nyes dumping it into the near corner. Matthews after it, trying to get it away. So was Nyes. Matthews takes his man down. Marner chipping it along the boards, but Sanderson has good positioning on Matthews, and he'll get it ahead and played out by Zetterlund into the Toronto end. Morgan Riley first there for the Maple Leafs. Got it ahead on the right wing side, and it's cleared into the center ice area. Apparently Riley got hit. We didn't see the hit, but the crowd reacting to it. Played into the zone, and now a whistle on an icing, or was it offside? And we'll wait to see where they face it off.
Tell you though, if you're the Ottawa Senators, this is how you approach this game. Win one. They make it 3-1. Leafs had a 3-1 lead in Ottawa. We've seen 3-1 leads disappear. Now you forget about being down 3-0. Now you try to push the story to be on, are these the same
There's a
old
button
Leafs
check head
that
first
can't
into the
close out a
boards.
playoff series? Yeah, it might be short-lived, but it's been certainly give you something.
That's all you can do. I mean, you got to win the next shift. You really have to
You can go back.
take the game down to a minuscule. Now here's Domi in over the line with a wrist shot that was caught by Omar, and
Ridley Gregg apparently has gone to the Ottawa dressing room.
yeah, he got hit. I think Oliver Ekman-Larsson drilled him in the end boards, and it looked like a shoulder injury. So he's gone to the dressing room.
He drilled them
8:32 to
into
play
the end boards with
in the
his
first
end
period.
boards.
1-0 Ottawa. You're listening to.
How we feeling? Don't get too tense. You know the Sens are going to put up a fight. They have to put up a fight. They can't just roll over and die. So if the Leafs are going to beat them, they're going to have to show some killer instinct. And I don't hate their game right now. They're playing a strong game. Both teams are playing a strong game. But like I said, small mistakes might cost you. And unfortunately, Domi made a mistake there. On first glance, I thought it was accidental. And I thought the penalty might be going to the Senators for pushing in and hitting the linesman. But on second glance, you can see that it looked more purposeful on Domi's part. It seemed to be intent. And I don't know what the rule is on accidentally hitting a linesman. I'm sure that's all up to them. So, Domi made a mistake. Sens made him pay. The Sens needed that. The Leafs got to buckle down and play some strong D. Block some more shots. Have a strong forecheck. And get some goals. We need Stolars to make some big saves. And show some killer instinct. Can it be done? Certainly can. Will it be done? Keep it tuned in and let's find out together. Go Leafs go, Blue Snot. Live remix.
Yes, it ever. Draw one cleanly by Toronto. Benoit playing it along the boards. Domi couldn't come up with it. And it is Tkachuk carrying it out at center with a pass up on the right side for Montepallo. Drop for a pass in front. Another shot stopped there by Stolars as the puck comes to the line and is pushed to center ice. And now Pacioretty in over the line on the right wing side for Domi, went off his stick and comes into the zone and into the goal crease. And Olmark loses it, but the whistle went, and now he's getting up rather slowly.
What about the game Montreal last night? Both starting goaltenders end up leaving with injuries. Anthony Stolars, even though the Leafs haven't given up a lot, he's made a couple of big stops. That last one, Dylan Cousins from between the hash marks.
Montepallo falling backwards on Olmark, but he seems to be all right. Pacioretty with a good effort there. 8:08 to play in the first period. And the Senators leading 1-0 on a power play goal. Sanderson off a face-off win. Bit of interference nicely run there by Artem Zub. Puck comes to center. Leafs are able to turn it over, and Nyes sends it right back into the zone. Nyes goes into the forecheck but can't come up with it. Then a hit on the far side by Matthews, but the puck comes to center ice. Leafs getting it freed up but unable to find Marner. And now here are the Senators with Sanderson banking it off the boards to the Leaf blue line, but quickly brought back by Brendan Carlo, and he's going to send it in as the Leafs are starting a change. Nyes knocks his man Zub to the ice, but the Senators get the puck out at center ice. Flip back ahead, and Nyes will shoot it in before he goes to the bench. Round on the far side. In goes Yarncrook around the net, coming out in front, and the pass didn't quite get there as Zub knocked it away before Lawton could get his stick on it. Another good hit there by the Leafs in the corner in Lorenz. That comes out at center ice. Lorenz gets it right back and shoots it in. Now Lawton looking for a chance to play it around the boards, and does. Far side for Yarncrook. Lorenz intercepted it for a bit, but then Gaudette took it away from him and gets it down into the Toronto zone. McCabe given a bit of a bump on the inboard. Senator fans reacting to anything that resembles a hit as the puck goes down, pinned up against the wall by Cousins and Gaudette. It does come free. Back to the point now for Nick Jensen. Jensen shot in traffic.
Looks like it might be in.
They're jamming away at it, and the whistle goes, and there's no goal.
They say no goal, but I think that might be worth a look.
After somebody and grabbing somebody from behind. David Perron has got a hold of and throwing punches there at Yarncrook, I think it is.
Yeah, and he's going to go too. Perron's getting the penalty. But how this puck doesn't go in.
Yeah, let's see.
They got in behind Anthony Stolars. You can see Stolars looking back, and then the confusion.
Wow.
Boy, McCabe makes a couple of saves, and then Stolars is able to finally get it pulled back in underneath him. Oh, great save by McCabe. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing he had all of his protective equipment on, Mr. Ralph. I'm just saying. Because that cup just made a hell of a save.
Cup was actually laying in the blue paint, and his helmet was in the grease on his stomach.
That man's got
And
balls
I
of
think
steel.
he was going to a power play.
They're going to take a look and see if there's a goal, but it doesn't appear to be, but it is a penalty here to David Perron.
I don't know how, we agreed that the Domi penalty had to be called, and it's the same thing with the Perron penalty. From what we saw, it did not get close. It was a very quick look from crossing the goal line. But David Perron just gets up and grabs. Perron just grabs Yarncroc from behind in a headlock and wrestles him down, and that's a little surprising, is it not, a veteran player?
Power play brought to you by Subaru. Hurry the all-in-one event for great offers and experience all the features that come standard in a Subaru.
5 for 9, the Leaf power play so far in this series. It got things evened up in game 3.
What did Travis Green just tell number 71
One of those
to
goals
do?
was a 5-on-3 as well. And the draw scrummed, but it goes into the corner, and the Leafs are going to get it back towards the blue line. Tavares against the wall, into the corner for Marner. Marner on the near half boards as things clear out. Marner down low for Nylander, into the slot. Matthews doesn't shoot it. Nylander with it again. Back to the point to Marner now. Now to Willie. Nylander top of the circles. Lets the shot go. Blockered away there by Olmark. But the Leafs are going to control the rebound. Nyes in the corner, trying to get it back out in front for Tavares, but he's able to save it along the boards. Nylander runs into a traffic jam on the wall. Puck is still there, and it's pushed out at center ice, and a foot race now. Here's a chance for
Oh, no.
He's in a goal. Stop by Stolars.
Nope.
No, they're saying it went in.
It went in. It's a nice goal by Pinto.
First shorthanded goal of the series. I didn't see the puck in the net. We'll have to wait for the replay.
Yeah, referee was right behind the goal and signaled right away. The Sens out-battled the Leafs on the near boards. And nobody really backs up the blue line. It was Matthew Nyes, the closest one back. But Shane Pinto walks in, and this just squeezes through the pads of Anthony Stolars and slides into the net. So as good as Stolars has been, that's 2 on 6 shots. And a couple of special team goals for the Ottawa Senators have them up with their biggest lead of the series.
Domi with the second unit on. McMahon gets it in over the line. Domi after the puck on the near boards, trying to pry it free. McMahon is up against the wall with Jensen. It comes back on the wall, and now Domi this puck hasn't moved more than 2 feet along the boards here as play sort of continues in a maze of skates. And 40 seconds left in the power play, and the Senators doing a great job as the puck does come free. Now Riley at the blue line with a spinning move, and he gave the puck away, and Pinto bringing it back into the Leaf end. The Leafs will get it back. Riley carries to center and into the zone. Drops off for Pacioretty. Pacioretty's pass hit a skate, and the Senators are breaking 2-on-1. Out at center ice and across the line for Gaudette. And is it offside? They're calling it and blowing it down.
Leafs are looking a little lost out there right now. Ottawa's giving it to them.
To open the scoring, and then a shorthanded solo rush by Shane Pinto. And the Senators have a 2-0 lead on specialty team goals.
But really, the Leafs have deserved this score, haven't they?
Yeah.
No, they haven't been sharp.
They've not
really
been sharp.
established the forecheck. There have been some giveaways.
Their defense has been okay, but they've made some mistakes that have cost them.
In the first 15 minutes and 9 seconds of this game.
You know the Leafs have to be
15 seconds
aware that
left
the
in
Sens
the
are going to
power
come
play.
hard tonight.
And Chris Tanev turns in his own zone.
They just need to get their legs under them, start playing smart.
Off the boards on the far side. Couldn't get any deeper. Senators have played it back, and the penalty box door opens. And it has been a bit of a catastrophe on specialty teams here for the Maple Leafs here in the first period. 2-0 Ottawa. Cousins gets it ahead for Tkachuk. He couldn't get in over the line cleanly. Pushed back out at center ice. Montepallo will try to play it in, but the Leafs intercept. Brought on by Scott Lawton. Lawton's wrist shot is taken on the chest by Ullmark, and he's going to cover it and stop play. And Clevin and Lawton having a little discussion. And a 2-0 Ottawa lead. First period.
2-0 Ottawa. Good on Pinto for that one. He saw that puck, ate it up, took it down, and found a way through Stolarz. This is what the Sens need to do to beat the Leafs. The Leafs will play a tiresome game and will try to wear you down defensively. But they will make mistakes from time to time, and if you capitalize on them, that's how you get them. Now for the Leafs, to get back into this one, they're going to have to calm those nerves, start playing some smart hockey and find their legs. Something they're very capable of doing and have shown in the past. Obviously, I'm hoping for that as a Leafs fan. I would like to see Toronto turn it up to that gear, show some killer instinct, and bring this game back. Normally in the past, this would be one of their demons, falling behind fast to some penalties and some mistakes, and then just kind of giving up mentally. Which Maple Leafs are going to give up and which ones are going to try? Let's find out. And if you're the Sens, well, now's your chance to really put your foot down to their throats. Do not give the Maple Leafs a chance to get back in this game. What do you think's going to happen, guys? The end of the first period's coming up. Game 3 was a wild one. Game 4 is shaping up just the same. Let's go.
Goal of the series as well.
By the way, the regular season, Ottawa 35-6 when scoring first. 0-1 in the playoffs.
Puck in the center ice area. Cousins couldn't get to it. The Leafs have it at their own blue line. Up ahead for Benoit from almost the same spot he scored the winning goal. That one was deflected into the corner. Now comes free, and Tavares can't come up with it. Cleared out at center ice. Swatted back there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, but Cousins make a nice move. He got around Oliver Ekman-Larsson, couldn't get around Benoit. Puck comes back to the point to Jensen. Jensen goes to his defense partner. Long shot by Shabbat, went high and wide. Near side for Jensen to play it down into the corner. Benoit takes his man to the boards. In goes Tkachuk with a half-hearted hit there that didn't amount to much, and the Leafs have played the puck off the glass and into the crowd. And a face-off will come in the Toronto zone with 3:16 to play here in the first period, and Ottawa leading by a score of 2-0.
You could have said you would be surprised at the score if somebody said, look, Ottawa's going to jump out to a 2-0 lead.
No, I wouldn't be
But
surprised.
how it's happened, it's really hasn't been that Ottawa has come in waves. It's just that the Leafs have had nothing back the other way. They've looked a step behind, haven't they?
And Anthony Stolarz, the 2 goals are goals that he has stopped.
Yes.
In previous action, right?
But even beyond that, Ottawa's been the much better team.
Yep.
Sharper.
Montepallo got it off on the wing, shot into the corner then by Cousins. Round back of the net, Carlo knocks his man down. The puck comes back, and it's going to go through the 2 defensemen and all the way back into Ottawa territory. Clevin, starting out of his own zone, down the right wing board, stops at his own blue line, plays it off the wall and in for Perron. Perron into the corner with a long shot from an angle that is taken on the chest by Stolars. And he's going to have to be pretty much letter perfect here until the Leafs can get their act together to get a little offense going as they trail in the game 2-0.
I believe Brady Tkachuk is brought up the 2004 Boston Red Sox, who were able to come back on the New York Yankees. Hard to believe that was the first time in Major League Baseball history.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
Now, having said that, as a face-off one, a shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. For over 100 years, there was only one series. So, there wasn't a lot of track record there.
Yeah.
Played out at center ice. And, of course, for about 100 years, there were 2 series when there were original 6 teams, right? At the point, a shot goes wide of the Ottawa goal. Set up on the boards. Blocked there nicely by the Leafs. But it'll come free. And now here's Zug trying to get it under control to play it out. And he does.
Are we not forechecking tonight, guys? Is that just not in the game plan? We're just going to dump the puck in, let them have it, then go play defense? Is that what we're doing? That's kind of what it seems like.
Two major gaffes.
Kind of what it seems like right now.
One is just Max Domi taking the penalty off a face-off.
And I get that. You take the penalty like that, takes some wind out of your sails. Then a shorthanded goal takes the wind out of your sails. But they already looked like they didn't have their legs before that.
Top 5 players on the ice give up a shorthanded breakaway to make it.
They'll find it.
Senators have won
But they got to get on some forechecking.
Of the 18 face-offs, which is an area where they've just been getting annihilated. And we get an icing call here against Toronto. The Leafs have been almost 60% in the series.
So far, John Tavares, I've got 0 for 2. Austin Matthews, 1 for 5.
Face off in the Toronto zone. Coming on the icing. 2:01 to go. Domi lost the draw, and a quick shot off the face-off circled by Batherson went wide. Cleared back to the blue line, kept alive there, but it goes off his skate. Chipped into the corner. Domi couldn't get it. Then a wrist shot taken by Zetterlund went wide. Point shot. Stop. Big rebound in front. Backhand stop. Here's Stolarz looking for the loose puck. And it's kicked by Riley to the near boards. Kept alive there by Montepallo. Montepallo working it back to the point. They go D to the far side. Clevin back to Montepallo on the right wing with a shot. And that was off the mark, off the side of the goal. Domi trying to fight a loose puck, and so is Oliver Ekman-Larsson as they finally get it free. Pacioretty is going to skate to open ice, but can't get it to the red line to get it in deep. Now he does get it freed up, misses a hit from Batherson. Bit of a scrum there as the teams are going to their respective benches. Minute 9 to go in the period as the puck is down in the offensive zone for the Leafs. Here's Tavares coming out of the corner, dropping it off now for McCabe. McCabe shot to the far side, corralled, and it comes back to the point. Nylander with a wrist shot, and traffic, he scores! A tip in front of the net. Tavares was cruising in there. I think it's Johnny Toronto, and the Maple Leafs are on the board with a late tally in the final minute of the period.
Good job, Johnny.
The line has not been great. 5-on-5 so far
Hit him
in
with
the
the
series,
horn.
but they came up with a huge one here. And that was after surviving another scramble at the other end of the ice, where Stolar has made a couple of big stops. Leafs finally get it into the Ottawa zone. And we've seen a lot of these in the playoffs. Billy Nylander from the blue line, middle of the ice, just wrists it towards the net to the right of the line. John Tavares turns, positions himself perfectly for the redirection into the net to get the Leafs on the board.
19:04 the time of the third goal of this series for John Tavares. And the Leafs cut the lead in half. Played out at center by Ridley Gregg, who is back into the lineup. Back down behind the net now for Jake McCabe. Pulls away from one forecheck. Played out at center ice. McCabe gets upended. Takes a look at the official to see if there's anything. Now, Nye's unable to get free. Swatted to the far side for Marner with 15 seconds left in the period. Leafs are changing. And it is Carlo with a pass that was intercepted, brought in over the line. Carlo took down Tkachuk there. And that looked like he stuck that knee out just a bit. Comes back on the boards. The Leafs are able to keep it in, and time's going to run out. And Benoit gets hit from behind by Kachuk. And then
That was a little dirty.
Benoit gets tangled up with one of the Senators, and there's a great face washing going on here. I'm not sure who the Senator is. Is that no Cousins? Yep. Dylan Cousins.
Every now and then you want to say to the linesman, let him go.
You know what?
See what happens there.
There's really no. Actually, that would scare the hell out of a lot of them, right? We're letting this go, boys, and then oh, that's okay. That's all right. Fine. I'm down.
What about the poor linesman on
In the bench.
last night?
That reminded me of the guy. Who was the linesman that climbed into the penalty box to save Ty Domi?
Not sure if that was Pat Boozy. I'm not sure. We might.
Or Kevin Collins? No, I thought it was Kevin Collins. There might be penalty.
Nah, you know, I just heard the rep. I thought there was only one penalty announced, but hopefully Jimmer and Anthony Stewart will get the update on that in intermission.
Why are they part of the broadcast?
I believe so.
Really? Are they coming up next?
Well,
We're not doing anything.
I'm not a producer per se.
Per se. All right. Well, we'll stand by. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 10.
It's so good.
Well, well, well. How you feeling now? We're back in the game. Looks like we're going to be getting some 4-on-4 hockey to start the second period. That's my guess. I'm guessing some offsetting minors there. So your first period score. It's 2-1 Ottawa. Ottawa really capitalizing on that Domi penalty. And then getting a great opportunity shorthanded and taking advantage of it. But then Tavares finds one in the last minute. Gets things back within one and back into the game. Looking forward to the second period. It's intermission time. Take a walk, get hydrated, get some snacks, do what you gotta do. Come back for the second period. This is Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go live remix.
That series is now tied at 2, and later on today, Dallas and Colorado at 9:30. Dallas with a 2-1 series lead. In our game, 2-1 for the Ottawa Senators over the Leafs after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Football season.
shorthanded goal at 14-10 to build a 2-0 Ottawa lead, the largest they've had in the series. But John Tavares tipping in a beautiful pass from William Nylander at 19:04 with Chris Tanev also assisting on the goal. And it is cut in half. It's 2-1 heading into the second period of play in Ottawa at the Canadian Tire Center.
Yeah, for Tavares, goal number 3 of the season during this series. Then William Nylander's 4th assist. Like we said, 5-on-5. They have not been dominant, not really noticeable. So maybe a huge moment for them, a huge goal for the Leafs to get them back into it late. Looks like we'll start 4-on-4.
Got a photo of a guy. We're not in Ottawa, obviously, but I've got a photo from somebody who is there. And a Leaf fan walking through the corridor has a Leaf jersey on, and it's got Holy Mackinac across the top, and the number is 74. Damn if he didn't get the age and that, but he's in copyright infringement, and I've contacted and you know my law firm, Dewey, Screw and Howe.
Yeah.
They are on the case, and that guy, Mr. Ralph, is in a lot of trouble when I catch up to him. Tell you that right now.
What iPad did was he shoots, he scores.
Oh,
that's mine.
That's yours?
Well, I just got it patented. That'd
be nice.
I don't think I've ever said it.
No.
But,
well, if you'd like, I can take the rest of the night off. I'm fine. I can go home. I got 15 people in my house right now that I could join and enjoy the hockey game with them and a beverage.
I think you and I should settle up the last 30 years first. How many times have you used that?
All right. Yeah. This is going to cost me a lot of money, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Retrospectively speaking.
No, we could be in court for a while.
Yep. We're ready here as the puck is dropped to start the second period. Leafs to the left.
Go, Leafs, go, Blue Snot, live, remix. It's the second period, y'all. Let's get to it.
Well, so they're playing 4-on-4 here after that scrum at the end of the period.
Yeah, Benoit roughing as well, Joe.
All right, thank you.
All right, now, special teams has been the difference. Power play short-handed goal by the Senators.
Minute 44 to go on the 4-on-4. Face-off in the Ottawa zone. Tavares scrummed the draw. It's knocked to the far boards. Nylander couldn't get there. Sanderson turns it back up ice for Ottawa. Works down the left wing to get it ahead. Backhanded by Cousins in over the line. Cut off by Morgan Riley. Reverse there for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Then quickly returned to Riley. His pass, though, was off a stick, but it is carried on by Tavares into the slot with a wrist shot. And that went high and bounces back at the net. Tavares with it, trying to play it back to the point. He does to Tanev. Tanev is unable to keep it in, though, and it comes to center ice and back into Toronto territory. Leafs will regroup the buck with McCabe getting it ahead and across the line. Matthews to Nylander, a shot and into the glove. Caught by Omar. Good opportunity for Willie coming in off the left wing on his wrong wing, but he had the right-handed shot with a little more look at the net, but good save made by Omar.
Yeah, I think Willie might have started out by heading to the bench, but saw Matthews was able to get it at the blue line and was coming over, and he simply cut in behind Austin Matthews and took the drop pass. But Allmark equal to the task. Glove save. Nylander trying to go far side.
10 shots apiece in the game so far. Face off in the Ottawa zone. Won by the Senators. Scrummed in the corner. Marner trying to dig it out. And it comes to the side of the net, back to the point. Tanev! Off the glove of Allmark, and it just went wide. I'll tell you what, if Benoit scores and now Tanev scores, I'm going to Vegas with all of this information. Here's Stützle trying to drive and going around back of the net. Had it knocked off his stick, but he's able to play it back of the goal. Cut off there nicely by McCabe, and he skates it out at center with Tkachuk chasing him. McCabe got it in over the line, but without control. And now the Senators will bring it back. Shabbat getting it ahead. Stützle in over the line, trying to get his stick away from Domi's checking. Into the slot, it goes to Artem Zub. Zub doesn't shoot it, goes to the far wing. Here's Shabbat with it now. Shabbat, back it goes to Stützle. Stützle going wide, can't shoot it, taken down by Morgan Riley. Riley battles along the boards, and Marner is able to intercept a pass and then just reverse it and try to ease things out the other side with Morgan Riley. Riley dropping it back for Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and the Leafs will get a change going. OEL gets it ahead, and now Lorenz to the line and in. A pass deflects into the corner from Yarncrook. A good hit there by Lorenz to try and pry it free from Sanderson, and he does. Lorenz coming out of the corner with it. In for a tip pass. Lorenz plays it to the right wing side.
Carlo.
Here's Carlo. Can't shoot it at the net, so sends it around to the far boards.
Lawton on it.
Lawton
Lorenz
took a
gets
high
it.
stick. That didn't get called.
Yarncrook.
Comes to the near side. Back to the point.
Carlo.
Trapped there by Carlo.
Trapped by
Down
Carlo.
into the corner now for Lorenz. Lorenz trying to get to it. Couldn't find anybody. Now does to Benoit. Benoit down into the corner after it, but it is grabbed off by Zub. He's trying to find an opening as he gets hit by Scott Lawton on the forecheck. Played out at center ice now by Ottawa. Pinto trying to get a change going. Just plays it into the Toronto end. Leafs with a long up. Domi is after it, but way out of the goal comes Olmark to play it away. And the Senators will get it into the Leaf zone. Back of the net, a centering effort there by Zetterlund didn't work. Leafs can't come with it. Now backhanded in front of the goal. Sweeping in front with a wrist shot taken by Gaudette. Went harmlessly wide as the Leafs got a stick on it. Another shot by Gaudette goes well wide of the net.
Put some pepper on your passes,
Hanno
guys.
plays it out at center. Domi couldn't get it in over the line
A little bit of
cleanly, and
mustard
going back
on
to
that.
retrieve it is Clevin. Clevin banks it off the glass to center ice. Tanev intercepts. He'll get it ahead on the left wing. McMahon had to wait for teammates to get onside. Pacioretty down into the corner. Frees it up for Bobby McMahon. Back along the boards for Pacioretty. Now to Tavares, who has come over the boards. Back to the point, kept in by Toronto. And the Senators back
Gotta
to their
feel
own
it.
goal.
Gotta believe
Running
it.
into a lot of bodies.
Leafs, go.
And the one-timer was
Broken stick.
negated by a broken stick.
And that was Holmberg coming off the bench.
Leafs back at center ice. Tavares in across the line with Holmberg. Tavares takes down a man, but the official right there doesn't
I think it was a
call
trade-off.
it, but apparently
Oh, they are calling it.
we are not in view of him. The other official has. There's a delayed penalty coming to Toronto.
And this is a penalty.
He tripped him.
Now the guy 5 feet in front of it didn't call it, but that's besides the point.
Well, my opinion is he didn't call it because of the hooking that happened to Tavares right before he tripped the guy. And he let the hooking go, so he probably thought I'd let the trip go. But the other referee called the trip.
Tavares has the puck coming over the Ottawa line. Kind of got bumped off the puck, down on one knee, and then swiping for it up the feet of the Senators player. And it was Shane Pinto was and all over the place for the Ottawa Senators in this game. He's the one that took the puck.
So not the best penalty, John.
From behind, and Tavares tried to regain his composure, took the feet out to the Ottawa forward.
So the Leafs a man short for the second time, and the Senators control the puck. Stutzla
Let's get some strong D.
Gets it back from Batherson. Stutzla on the near half boards. Back to the point to Sanderson. Far side, Cousins back to Sanderson. Sanderson to Stutzla off his stick. Tanev trying to chase after it as it goes back of the goal for Tkachuk. Tkachuk coming out in front. They jam at it. And the pad of Stolar's got across to make the save, but the Senators are keeping the puck in. They play it down into the corner. Batherson centers. That was off of Tanev's stick. Tanev couldn't get to it. Neither can Marner. Played along the boards for Stutzla. Stutzla centers. Nope. Holds on. Works to the near half boards. Down into the corner. Batherson centering. Broken up by Marner. And he's going to tip it out at center ice. But the Leafs are not going to get anybody exchanged. Played into the zone again. Batherson. Right wing side. Sprawling to block that was McCabe. And he deflected it into the corner. Kept alive by Ottawa. Leafs have been on for a minute 25. Sanderson into the corner. Cousins is there. Marner intercepts. Marner sends it ahead and gets flattened by Sanderson. And a penalty is coming here to Ottawa for interference.
Boy, Mitch Marner sold this big time. I don't think there was any gas left in the tank for him to be able to make it off the board.
He wasn't going anywhere.
But he still made the movement to get around the Ottawa defenseman as he chipped it up the left wing boards. And got interfered with a bit. Marner went down. And who was it? This is Jake Sanderson is going to go.
So the penalty kill was brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. And the Leaf Power Play upcoming is brought to you by Subaru. Hurry to the all-in-one event for great offers and experience all the features that come standard in a Subaru.
And interesting to see they're going to have 4-on-4. They just had Matthews and Marner out up front. 41 seconds of 4-on-4 before the Leafs go to the power play. Holmberg.
Well, Tavares is in the penalty box, so that negates that.
Yeah, Holmberg is taking the draw. We see Morgan Riley.
And Bobby McMahon is the other forward. Okay. As they pan over there to give us a look off this face-off in the Ottawa zone, controlled by the Senators. They get to center ice and get it in over the line. Down the right wing boards, trying to get in is Pinto. He gets it back to the blue line, but it's gone by everybody back to center ice. Another 28 seconds before the Leafs go to their second power play of the game. Senators with it in the center ice area for Shabbat. Shabbat centers! Rang off the post by Tkachuk. It's banked back to the blue line, kept alive by Zetterlund, and it's deflected out at center ice by the Maple Leafs. Whoa, Leafs catch a break there. Tkachuk with a great shot, and almost stealing it there was Bobby McMahon. He forces Jensen back in his own zone, and now the Leafs on the power play, and the Sens are getting it in over the line. Pinto will flip it into the corner. Riley goes back after the puck and rings it around the boards to the near side, and the Leafs Tavares starts out with it. He's going to drop it back and bring it on now is Riley. Riley dropping it off as he goes to the bench, and the first unit is out with Marner holding the puck in the Toronto zone. Marner drops it even further, and Willie starts out.
How many times have
Nylander
we
to center.
dropped it back in this rush?
On the right side, skips it off on the right wing side for Tavares. Tavares goes around back at the net. He sent puck in front of the goal. They bang away at it. Ullmark down, and he's got a hold of it.
Boy, a sneaky little play to put it out short side. Everybody was sold that this puck was going around the Ottawa net. But that was Tavares chipped it back out into the slot, and the Leafs very nearly find the loose puck and slip it in. But Austin Matthews had it just go past him.
Yeah, he couldn't pull it past the goaltender, could he? Leafs win the faceoff. Nylander at the point, long shot by Marner, then went wide. Tavares back there is hauled down by Chabot. No call. I don't think there's a call. I can only see one official, and he doesn't have his arm up, so I guess not. Nylander up ahead. Matthews to the line and in. Matthews on the left wing side. Matthews dropping it back to the slot area. Nylander with a shot that was blocked. And the Senators, who scored shorthanded earlier in the game, now give the puck away. Played down into the corner by Toronto, into the offensive zone.
Let's go.
Trying to get to it is Nyes.
Go,
forces his man
go.
wide, but it's iced by the Senator defense. And the penalty is over. Ottawa 2, the Leafs 1, 11:50 to go in the second period. Leafs up 3-0. Played off the boards and in by Domi, dropping it back. A chance for Benoit, and he had to go off a stick. Now Domi back of the net trying to get it in front. The two overtime heroes almost hooking up there with the plate. Great pass.
Yeah, I think Benoit tried to get it back to Domi when he actually might have been better off trying to just get it to the net.
Absolutely. One of the Senators has lost a glove in the fray. The Leafs get the puck to the line. Kept in by Clevin. Clevin down the left wing boards with a shot. Stolar's got a piece on a drive from the other side. Is caught by the Leaf netminder to stop play. Score remains the way the first period ended. It is Ottawa 2, the Leafs 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Well. 2-1. Leafs and Sens. How do you feel about the action tonight, guys? Second period is a little bland so far. I can't tell if the Leafs are nervous or tired or something else, but a couple of them are starting to find their legs. Let's see if they can turn it on and get back into the game. You are tuned into Blue Snap. Go, Leafs, go. Live remix. Put a Go, Leafs, go in the chat.
Pretty sure a lot of that product's being consumed in my house. I'll be on cleanup duty right after the game when I get home. Face-off coming. Leafs trailed 2-1 in the hockey game. Lead 3-0 in the series. Had a great chat yesterday with a dear friend of both of ours, W.W. Waters himself.
Who's Wilbur doing?
Wilbur's doing great. Yeah, he listens to us all the time and doing fine. Draw won by the Leafs. Riley punches it off the boards. It gets out at center ice, but the Senators have it at their own blue line. Chabot being hounded there by Yarncrook. The puck comes back to him, and he gets it to the line, but it's stolen. Here's a chance for Lorenz down low. Lawton in front of the net for Lorenz. Big save made by Ullmark. But the Leafs' fourth line doing a great job again here tonight. Played down into the Toronto end. Stolarz to the near side to Brandon Carlo. He gets it ahead and down into Ottawa territory. Ullmark has to wait, and Sanderson will take the puck from him. The communication between Stolarz and his defenseman is really remarkable. Drop pass here and a wrist shot wide of the Leaf goal. Puck is down into the near corner. No one can get to it. Then a shot by Sanderson grazed the side of the net. Puck down into the corner and around back of the net. Chipped along the boards. Marner unable to get to it. Neither could Matthews. Three Senators in there, and Matthews hammers his man to the boards, and now Marner plays it around back of the net for Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who banks it but doesn't get it to Nyes. Kept alive by Ottawa. In around back of the goal, trying to play it back to the point. It comes to Sanderson. D to Zub. Zub, wrist shot and traffic block. Big rebound. Cleared to the line and out. Nyes racing after it. Nyes beats his man. He's got a breakaway.
Here we go. Here we go. Hit him with the horn.
Leafs were hanging on to their own end. Ekman-Larsson's clearing attempt got kept in, but the Leafs are able to poke it away as Matthew Nyes knifes it. Marner was the one that sort of flashed at it to get it outside the Ottawa line. And then Matthew Nyes simply outraces Zub and Sanderson. Was going to draw the penalty, but Nyes coming in on Ullmark goes backhand, forehand, chip.
Ties the game
over
at
the right
2.
shoulder under the crossbar.
Halfway mark of the second period.
Prompy, he not only here's a loose puck into the Ottawa zone that went wide. He not only outraced him, he out-muscled him badly. Senators get it out in center ice.
Go.
Now tied at 2.
Go,
Giroux.
go.
Pass knocked out of the air, but grabbed off there by Cousins. Centering pass deflects wide, and the Leafs Nylander fails to get it out. It bounced over a stick. Giroux gets it into the corner. Centering pass is going to bounce and come all the way to center ice before Shabbat shoots it right back in again. Stolarz let that go, and Tanev has it now back of the Toronto goal. Ran into a couple of forecheckers, got some help from Tavares, and then Tanev is able to play it out at center ice. Senators will shoot it back in. Stolarz traps it back of the goal. Nicely played into the corner. Nicely played up on the left wing. And nicely out of the zone come the Maple Leafs. The communication between the defenseman and Stolarz is wonderful. They're letting him know where to go with it. He doesn't even look for a defenseman. He just plays it to whichever corner he hears his name being talked about. Played around the boards and into the near corner. Leafs in the offensive zone with Pacioretty sending it behind the net. Bobby McMahon to Domi. Little bit of room. Played it in front. Pacioretty couldn't get it. Neither could Benoit. And the puck is sailed all the way down into the Leaf end. And Stolarz gets it over on the near boards. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it right back into the offensive end. Marner into the forecheck. Sanderson taken to the boards. Puck goes free. And it is Gaudette getting it ahead out at center ice and chipped in over the line. Ridley Gregg goes into the forecheck against Carlo. Carlo played it away into the near corner. Domi unable to finish it off, but it bounces on a pass back towards the blue line all the way back into Ottawa territory, forcing Shane Pinto back to retrieve it. Leafs 2 and the Senators 2. Down into the corner in the offensive zone for Ottawa. Pinto taken off the disc by Matthews. Matthews to Nyes. Nyes back to Brandon Carlo. Carlo to his defense partner Riley. Lead pass at center, and Nyes is in over the line. Bulling his way into the corner, dropping it off for Marner. Shot was off a skate in front of the net. I think it hit Shane Pinto. Looked like it might be going in. Matthews can't get to it to Marner. Played out and down into the Toronto zone. And the Leafs are going to get a break here with an icing call.
Boy, Mitch Marner had a great opportunity, but the puck just bounces away from him. Ottawa's best chance in the second period here has been a goal post. They had on a simple 2-on-2 rush where they were able to execute and get a shot off. But overall, Joe, they've had one shot on goal here in the second period. The Leafs have had 6. And, of course, it was Matthew Nyes that scored on one of those 6 to tie this game up at 2, but 16-11 the shots overall for the Leafs.
Face off in the Ottawa zone. 7:15 to go in the period. Face off was scrummed, but the Senators get it out into neutral ice. Tanev right back in over the line. Missing a hit there was Pontus Holmberg. Here's a shot taken by Nylander that hit a skate. And the Senators are getting it out at center. Holmberg just missed. He would have been crumped
by Tanev
if that had connected. Tanev to his defense partner, McCabe. Backhand pass out at center. Off a skate to Tavares, and he'll rip it into the offensive zone. Nylander unable to get to it. Senators have it in the near corner, and Jensen plays off the boards to center. Intercepted there by Lorenz, and Yarncrook drops it back for Morgan Riley. Pass at center to the near wing. Flipped in again by the Leafs. How confident is the coaching staff on this fourth line and its ability to check?
Yarncrook just got nailed.
Stützle in over the line with a pass that deflected off the skate and went wide. Around the board, Stützle with it again. Bought to the point it comes. Played off on the left wing side. Shabbat a shot.
Loved.
Great play by Brandon
They're going to
Carlo.
show us that hit on Yarncrook.
Drake Batherson and moved him about 8 feet from nice position A in front of the net to position B, which was halfway up section 319.
I think if you Google boxed out, you're going to see that video pop up.
It is a 2-2 tie. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050.
Yeah. 2-2. Game 4. What do we got left in store? Who's feeling tight? Who's feeling loose? Like I was saying, the Sens started out the game flying, and the Leafs looked like jelly a bit. But as I mentioned, in the past, the Leafs take a bonehead penalty and then get scored on shorthanded, and then they go inside themselves mentally and they lose the game by beating themselves. They ran a risk of doing that tonight, but it seems some of these players have turned it back around and are finding their legs and finding their smarts. But we're far from over. The score is tied. Who's going to be the hero tonight, and for what team? Keep it tuned in. Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go. Live remix.
Ties him with John Tavares now for the club lead in that department. Mitch Marner drew the assist. He leads the Leafs with 7 points in the series. Nyes chopping at the puck, but it hit a body, and now it's down into the corner in the Leaf zone.
And Yarncroke's gone to the dressing room after that hit.
Gets it out into the center ice area. Senators get it back into the Toronto end. Riley goes after the puck in the near corner. Got it freed up, and Nyes is skating it out at center, but had it knocked off his stick, but Tavares is racing after it. Does a nice job against the defenseman to clear it in along the boards, but no support there for him. And it's brought out at center now by Jake Sanderson. Sanderson dropping it back. Wrist shot by Ridley Gregg was harmlessly wide. And Tanev now goes to his defense partner, and McCabe gets it ahead. Nylander with skating room to his liking in on the right side. Sifts to the middle of the ice on his backhand, dropping it back. Here's a chance for Jake McCabe trying to center, and it was intercepted there by Jensen. Leafs after it and then sent around the boards to the point. Just trapped by OEL to keep it in. Round back to the net, Nylander tracks it down. Willie in the near corner, trying to get away from the checking of Stützle did! And a wrist shot taken by Pontus Holmberg went wide of the goal. Nylander again with a shot. That was deflected wide. Domi back to the point. Along the boards and around back of the goal, but out of the reach of a Leaf. Played again into the corner by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Jensen.
Strong forechecks by that line.
Settle it down. Senators get it out at center ice and into the Leaf end. 4.5 minutes to play in the second period. Leafs have scored to tie the game at 2s. Sens missing a hit there was Pacioretty on the forecheck. Perron gets it out. On the right wing side it goes. Here's Montepallo with a shot that was knocked away. Leafs have it back of the net. Benoit unable to make a pass. Batherson lost it. Benoit regains it. Can't get it to the line. Now he does get it to the line. And the Leafs get it out at center. And it's knocked down into Ottawa territory. Bobby McMahon trying to play it along the end boards. Trying to get his stick extracted from the checking there. The puck comes free. And the Ottawa Senators get it out at center. Batherson sends it high into the far corner. 17-11, the shots on goal favoring Toronto as the puck goes off the glass and into the screen and out of play.
Just doing a quick look here, Joe. Brady Tkachuk doesn't seem like he's been on the ice a lot, has he? It does show that he's hit double digits in ice time at 10:29. Hasn't been noticed.
No, well, a lot of things that aren't told, right? It is a 2-2 tie.
It is a 2-2 tie. Boom, 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 boom. We have about 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second period. The Leafs are up shots on goal, 17-11. The score is tied at 2. It's game 4. Leafs up 3. Sens on the brink of elimination. Are they going to find it to turn it around? Or are the Leafs going to find that killer instinct and put them down? Keep it tuned in and find out. The second period comes to a close. Blues snap. Go, Leafs, go. Live. Remix. Yarncroke has returned.
Leafs have outshot Senators 8-1 in this period. And the draw won by Toronto in the defensive zone, cleared to the line, and it'll be punched out at center ice to Scotty Lawton, who launches it high towards the net, bouncing into the corner. Sanderson got it up on the wing, but the Leafs pinch as it's Lawton keeping it in there to Yarncrook. Yarncrook along the boards. Lawton got it free. Now taken down along the boards, but it's poked up on the wing, and Stützle starts out at center along with Tkachuk. Played in over the line. Around back of the net. Reversing the puck there was McCabe. Now it's scrummed back of the goal, but Tanev is there. Tanev on the wing, and Yarncrook gets it out and deflects it down into Ottawa territory and gets a change started. Carried back the other way by Tyler Clevin. Clevin in on the left wing from an angle, doesn't get it past the shin pad of Tanev. Puck comes around to the far point, kept in over there by Jensen, and Jensen's pass goes into the corner harmlessly, and the Leafs send it out, but well past Marner, and that's going to turn into an errant pass and an icing call here against the Maple Leafs. As I mentioned, the officials, Peter McDougall officiating his 5th ever playoff game. Jean Hebert's the veteran there. Tyson Baker and Scott Cherry are the lights.
So the Sens don't have a lot of shots yet this period. So Leafs got to be careful of not giving up a mistake and catching Stoller's cold. Stoller's got to be on his game. Let's see the Leafs with some more forechecking and more offensive zone time.
Hands it down into the zone, and the big fella's rumbling into the corner after it. Got it the blue line. Riley keeps it in with a shot, and that was deflected wide of the goal. Senators get it back out at center. Brandon Carlo to Riley. Riley shoots it in once more. Down the boards, and Nyes crashes into his man there, but the puck comes free, and Greg comes to center and sends it down into the Toronto end. Riley reversing the puck there to get it into the corner. Marner trying to dig it free, got it back at the net, but here's Pinto trying to get it in front. Intercepted by Matthews to Nyes. Nyes to Riley. Riley will get to the line with a long shoot in on Olmark as the Leafs are changing again. 1:50 to play. Now a pass intercepted there by Pontus Holmberg, but he couldn't free it up to find Nylander. Back come the Senators, and Pinto shoots it down into the Toronto end. Oliver Ekman-Larsson back of the net for Benoit. Played up on the wing for Nylander. Chipped out and down the ice. It was just up now. Icing waved off by the linesman.
Boy, Zoo. Because longest possible route to get
Did it? Well, that was probably it, yes.
Yeah.
Leafs get it in over the line. Nylander couldn't get to it. This is a delayed offside. That is going to be blown dead by the linesman. Minute 17 to go. Batherson and Lawton. Scotty Lawton getting underneath some people's skin in this series, isn't he?
Yeah, with the scrums, he's disinterested.
No.
He's just...
Playing when the clock's running, boys. Yep. Playing while the clock's running. Come and get me.
Which a lot of times will irritate the opposing team even more. It's like, you can't quit now.
No. You just sandpapered me into the boards. Can't you at least respond? Nope. Wait till the drop of the puck, though. I'm right here for you.
They have been good again tonight.
They have.
You want to call them the fourth line?
You know what? I'm doing that in a celebration. Really am. They have been that and everything.
Well, I mean, the third line, the ice time's been about even.
But these guys are on late in periods, defensive zone face-offs. Puck around the boards to the far side. And midway through the season, the fourth line never took a defensive zone face-off if it could be avoided.
Now, there are a lot of different combinations, too, for the fourth line.
Absolutely. Here's Jensen dropping in the Ottawa zone for Stützle. Stützle will shoot it in. Stolar's out of the net, back to the goal. Hurt his defenseman. It was McCabe. Got it into the corner. They get it back for Tanev. He has ample room and time and launches it high to center off a glove. Now it is brought right back in again by Stützle. Stützle on the far boards. Still with it as he works back to the blue line. Had it knocked off his stick, but he is able to keep it in. Tanev against the boards, frees it up. Scotty Lawton gets it on the backhand, but didn't get it by Stützle. Kept alive now here, and the shot is deflected wide of the goal. Rebound now to Chabot. A shot knocked down in front. All kinds of Leafs there boxing out, and Tanev has it now as the Senators are
close out these last 10 seconds.
left
Let's
in
go.
the period.
Boy, and that's after a rare mistake by Scotty Lawton, who tried to lob it out in the backhand, couldn't get it elevated enough.
Out at center ice, played into the Ottawa zone. We'll go to the third period.
Tie at 2.
The Leafs trying to sweep the series and have tied it on a goal by Matthew Nyes in the second period after 40, tied at 2.
We said you had to say that the best opportunity Ottawa had in that second period was a shot that went off the goalpost. Only one other was counted as a shot on goal, as the Leafs outshot the Ottawa Senators 9-1. And one of those 9, Matthew Nyes on a breakaway, tied the game up at 2.
Nyes is third from Marner at 10-12. Here's the scoring play to talk about for our second period intermission. We send it off to Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Well. What do we have here? It's 2-2 tie. Second intermission. Who's going to be the hero in the third? Another close scored game. It's intermission. Get up, walk around, stretch the legs, rehydrate, get a snack, and we'll be back with more Blue Snout. Go Leafs Go live. Remix.
yourself a high five. Buy any large traditional pizza. Get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas.
Received the natural evolution of a young budding power forward star in the making here. Just the confidence that he uses playing power play, penalty kill, all situations. But to elevate your game as a young player in the playoffs, sometimes it takes guys 4, 5, 6, 10 years to finally arrive. And to be a big game player in your second full season in the National Hockey just shows what type of player he has. And it's one thing, yes, to sort of out-muscle Zoom and get it in, but you're going full speed and have the hands and depth scoring touch to sort of go, inside, outside, top shelf on a world-class goaltender. Like, what a goal, just owning the moment, and great job in bringing Toronto back 2-2 as we go into the final 20 minutes.
So, we could talk about the shots on goal, 9-1 for the Leafs. How did that happen?
I was like, is this a typo? But
I know
this is the third time in the series, right? Where you're looking at Ottawa. Yes, they have some zone pressure time. It looks like they're getting pucks through, but the clock is just literally not counting the shots. And we see the shot attempts. Obviously, Ottawa's leading them, but Toronto's just taking time and space away. They're sticks and lanes. They are blocking, but it's not like they're diving head first and trying to block it with their face. They're just playing tight knit hockey, and it's working. And say what you will, you're Ottawa. You're fighting for your playoff lives here, and you're giving it your all. And then you go and you take a look at the stat sheets in between each one shot on net, and you're like, we're playing well. So the results aren't there. It's really tough to focus on the process when you're not getting those results, but they just have to continue to do that. They're one shot away in the third period, but Toronto, all they had to do is sort of sort out the special teams battle. They did let the shorthanded goal in. The power play wasn't clicking. They got through the 4-on-4, but once it started settling in 5-on-5, getting all four lines involved, that's when they start to take over the game and their talent starts to sort of seep through and dominate the Ottawa Senators.
And so this is what the Leafs do. They methodically go about their business. And I don't know if methodically is the right word, but they have that structure. They don't panic. They're able to tighten things up. And what was the adjustment between the first and second period? Because obviously, Ottawa had some space in that first period.
I think those penalties, right? The second half of that first period, you got into penalty troubles every 3-4 minutes, and what that does, it disrupts the rhythm of the whole entire group, right? You have to, you have guys that are penalty kill guys at power play, and again, those third and fourth line guys were sitting for an extended period of time. So when you get through that and get the third line out there and the fourth line, who's had another great night tonight, the rhythm of the game just sort of settles in, and we use the boxing term with. Before, but they're almost like not Joe Frazier, I was going to say George Foreman, just chopping down the tree, one shot at a time, just boom, little shot, body shot, and then eventually the tree just falls over, and that's what they're doing. They're just slowly, methodically, that's the perfect adjective to describe, methodically going about their business, and they just find a way to sort of take advantage of when their opportunity opens up. And nice, I'm not saying that's a nothing play, but sort of have that, the wherewithal and the knowledge that, hey, now's the time to go for a skate and bust through. Like, that is a big game play by a big game player. So if I'm Ottawa, I have to come out. Again, it's, guys, we need 15 shots here. We don't care if we're shooting it from the blue line, catching it in the bench and throwing it on the net. You got to find a way to crash the net, get volume. That's the only way I can see them, getting the win tonight.
Well, let's talk about energy. I mean, if you're going to start like Ottawa did and then be pushed to the outside like the Leafs did to them in the second period, what do you have left?
Yeah, it's like, the bully in school. You got to knock them out with the first shot. If not, you're probably going to continue to get bullied. So I think for Ottawa, they're not playing bad. They are not playing bad in any sense of the word. And, not saying as a coach you sort of run out of things to say, but it's just you got to wait for that opportunity and you got to make the most of it. And, we've seen in games past, Kachuk score a couple third period goals. And again, I think he's been a little bit quiet tonight. I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a little bit more added urgency. But again, it's not what they're not doing. It's just Toronto with this system and this structure and this, most importantly, them prepared and sticking to the system. It's a tough team to beat when they're dialed in and playing this consistent style of hockey.
Very noticeable is the Lawton line with Lorenz and Yarncroke. They're doing a nice job out there, aren't they?
They did, and then the ISO cam on, who was it, Yankroke, and he looked like a young Jeff O'Neill. Remember, he had the blood dripping down his face at the back. I think he's got a couple more rounds and a couple more shots in the face to get to that point, but, that's not phasing him, right? He doesn't have the full bubble on. He's playing playoff-style hockey, so it's starting to seep through the rest of the group. The fork line's been great, great catalyst. They're not just a...
And we are ready for the third period. Back to action. 2-2. It's a close one. This next goal is going to be a big one, guys. Who's going to get it? Go, Leafs, go.
But an errant pass is going to be taken to safety again by Nyes, who one-hands it back to his defense. Carlo returns to Riley. Riley gives it off to Willie Nylander. Nylander circles in his own zone. Backhand pass to center, looking for Pontus Holmberg. That didn't connect. Now Tavares is able to come up with a loose puck and played ahead to center ice, and Tavares with a little room now to gain the zone. Works in on the right side, pulls his way to the side, comes out in front. Couldn't get a forehand on the net though. The puck is brought out by Ottawa. Cousins works down the right wing and into the zone, looking for a man as he gets to the slot area. It goes off his stick and trickles into the goal crease, where it is smothered by Anthony Stolars to bring a face-off. Tavares bowled his way out of the corner, but he couldn't maintain the puck on his forehand.
What happened was, even coming over the line, Brady Tkachuk took Willie Nylander right at the boards, right at the Ottawa blue line. And John Tavares looked up and said, wait a minute, nobody's challenging me. So he took that all the way down the right wing boards into the corner and then bulldozed his way to the front of the net before having it knocked off his stick.
Face off in the circle to the left of Stolars in the Toronto zone, won by the Maple Leafs. And it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson getting it air-moiled out at center ice, and now Yarncrook trying to chase it down, but he won't get there. It'll be an icing call. We'll do it all over again in the Toronto end. And you have to think that if there is a lot of pressure, it is certainly in the Ottawa bench.
Well, especially, you get the 2-0 lead. You've seen that disappear. And been the pushback from the Toronto side in so many situations like this that I think that's where, for Ottawa, you're trying to believe in the moment.
Draw won by Ottawa. Shabbat sends it well wide of the goal. Bouncing puck knocked in back of the Toronto net. Benoit able to come out of the near corner with it. Skates it up the left wing boards, and he gets it ahead, and Scotty Lawton shoots it in. Down the wall comes Lorenz to get it around on the far side. Yarncrook was interfered with. It comes to center ice. The Leafs have it back in their own end. McCabe getting it ahead, but it is pushed back of the net by Lorenz to Tanev. Tanev gets it on to Marner as the Leafs are in the midst of a change. Marner waiting for teammates to come over the boards and gets it in over the line. Matthews had to go off his stick into the corner. Down into the near boards and Nyes. Back of the net now for Marner. Marner coming up in front of the net. A shot. Nyes had a rebound chance, but it was knocked away, and it's rolling. Icing against Ottawa, and that will bring back Tyler Clevin, who had gotten himself a nice...
Now, I know I'm obviously cheering for the blue and white, but if Ottawa wants any chance at hope at winning this game and getting back in the series, they're going to have to turn it on, because that second period did not cut it.
I believe the last two series where teams that come back down 3-0, Game 4 were overtime win.
A hit there by Pacioretty flattens one of the Senators on the far boards. And now Riley starts up the left wing to play it in off Pacioretty's stick into the offensive end. Shabbat chased hard there by Bobby McMahon. Gets it to Nick Jensen. Jensen gets it out, and the Senators trying to get in over the line, and they do. Perron into the slot with a weak backhand steered wide by Stolars. On the far boards, Brandon Carlo is knocked down. It comes up on the wing, and Pacioretty slowly to center, trying to flip in on the left wing for Bobby McMahon. McMahon takes it into the corner. McMahon against the boards, can't come up with it, and it's around back of the net. Jensen plays out at center ice. That got by everybody, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson goes back in his own zone. Ahead for Tavares. Tavares drops for Benoit. Benoit drops unintentionally for Tavares. His feed for Pontus Holmberg, though, was out of his reach. And the Senators have it at their own blue line. Jensen to his defense partner. Brought on by Clevin. Can't get into the Leaf end as it was deflected over on the far side by Holmberg. And it goes into the bench.
How about we check in with Leafs fans? What are you guys saying?
The Leafs had for Game 3 when Max Pacioretty replacing Nick Robertson. Pacioretty certainly demonstrating that the physical part of the game is still very much a part of his repertoire.
Especially at this time of year, right? Where it may not be the need to score a big goal. It's the big hit, the big forecheck that gets the cycle game going in the offensive zone.
Lawton, Yarncrook, and Lorenz for Toronto. Shot into the Toronto zone. Played into the slot for Lawton. Up on the boards. And Yarncrook gets it out at center ice. Off on the right wing side, Nick Cousins shoots it back into the Toronto end. Tanev reverses the puck along the boards. Trying to chip it free is Lawton. Played up on the wing, but it won't clear. Shot in traffic, knocked down. Puck still in the slot area, but a good job done by Yarncrook to tie up his man. Now Tanev getting it to the boards. Lorenz got it up on the wing, but couldn't get it out. Now the Leafs have it around back of the net with Tanev, and Tanev, running out of real estate, gets it to the line, and Lorenz chips it down the ice, but it'll be too much. Icing will be called, and the fourth line has to do a job in its own zone again. The face-off coming in the circle, I believe, to the right of Anthony Stolars. We'll wait and see where the official is. Hey, I saw Jermaine Franklin during the intermission. He was in this just off the studio here. He's one of my favorites. Does a great job on highlights. I criticized him about his tie. It was very inappropriate. Very inappropriate.
Sure, he's a big fan too.
Well, he's a big man. I don't want to get him upset with me. Face off to the left of Stolars.
Do it again.
15:40 to go in the third period. We're still tied at threes. Leafs get it off the boards, but Sanderson knocked it down. Here's pass back of the net for Tanev. Chipped ahead. Yarncrook couldn't get it out. Puck back into the corner. Round back of the net it goes, and now here's McCabe just getting it airmailed into center ice and down into the Ottawa end. Yarncrook will provide a little bit of forechecking before he heads to the bench. Senators Zub gets it in over the line. Backhanded in around back of the net. Carlo thought better of going after his man, and it was a good decision as he blocks a pass. Then a shot from the point, whistled wide. Kept in by Zub on the right wing boards. Along the boards, Matthews trying to get it back on the wing, but it goes around back of the net. Riley and Carlo after it on the far wing. Carlo bumped there by Sanderson, but Marner against the near boards to Riley. Back of the net for Carlo, a little bit too far. Can't push it up the wall. Senators with a good forecheck going here, but not getting clear-cut quality chances. Leafs finally get it out. Stützle has it back at his own blue line. Stützle in over the line on the left wing, trying to go wide against Benoit, and Benoit would have none of it. Takes his man heavily into the corner. Puck goes to Nyes, but he can't get it out. Played around the boards into the near corner. The Senators getting a change going. Zub is pressured. It goes back around to the far side. Kept alive on the far wing by Dylan Cousins. Cousins back of the goal, had it knocked off his stick. Leafs can't get it up on the wing to get it out. Nylander, or at least Marner, unable to get it from Riley. They battle along the boards. Puck does come free. Marner down low. Plays in front of his own goal, and Benoit trying to lift it out, had it blocked, and a wrist shot goes wide. Good pressure here from Ottawa, but they're not getting any chances as yet. Here on the left wing side, Shabbat. That shot, that got through, and goaltender.
That one got through.
Stolars had to make a save. Nyes finally gets the puck into Ottawa territory and gets a change started, but the Senators are right back in. Good hit by Benoit to stand up. I believe it was Stützle, and it is shot down the ice by Toronto, but it'll be on goal. And the Maple Leafs will get a change completed. Pontus Holmberg over the boards as well.
A couple times this game, the Matthews line has been caught out. Some long shifts. Just survived another one there.
Long lead pass. Oliver Ekman-Larsson to Carlo played off on the wing. Trying to get to it is Pontus Holmberg. Tavares works it up on the wing, but can't play it ahead, but now does to Carlo, who gets in over the line. Carlo down into the corner for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg trying to get it back to Brendan Carlo, but the Senators have gotten it deflected out at center ice. Jake McCabe right back in again for Willie. Nylander into the slot, closing, still with it, shoots. That's stopped. There's a rebound in front, and it was knocked wide into the far corner. Dangerous play there. Now brought in over the line by David Perron into the backhand. Stopped by Stolars into the slot. A shot scores.
There it is.
Perron deflecting it in. Senators take a 3-2 lead.
Got caught.
Comes right after the Leafs' best opportunity of the period. Willie Nylander takes it to the net from the high slot. Shot doesn't get through. Senators come back the other way. And after the first shot is stopped by Stolars on the backhand, Ottawa doesn't relinquish the puck. And eventually, I mean, this is just a tap in, a nice play for the middle of the ice to David Perron, who once he had the backhand chance, Joe, continued behind the net and came out to the left of Stolars. And Artem Zub picks the puck up from the blue line. High slot, gets it right back to Perron, who just tips it into the
He's in a
empty
good spot
side
for it.
and breathes life into the building.
That's what they needed.
So the Senators have a 3-2 lead. Played down into the Ottawa zone.
They haven't been playing like they were going to get it, but they needed it, and now they got it. So what can they do with it?
First time the Senators have had 3 goals in a game in this series. Rink wide pass. Domi trying to get to it, dotted in across the line, but has dived to try to free it up there for Bobby McMahon. Put the rush offside, so it'll be brought back out into the center ice area. Senators lead 3-2, 11:56 to play.
Yeah, it's kind of what I expect. Another thing the Leafs tend to do is when they're dominating a game, the mistakes get costly. There's no way Perron should have been left below Stolars with an open net like that. So either a defender should have grabbed him or Stolars should have been aware of him being there. Obviously easy to say from here, a little bit harder to accomplish in the game. Good on the Sens, they needed that. What are they going to do with it now? Can they hold off the Leafs' comeback and get themselves into this series? We're around the midway point of the third period. About 12 minutes remaining. This is Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go. Live remix.
Senators attempt to stave off elimination. Mark Grimes sent me a note to inform me that Scotty Lawton and Max Domi both played lacrosse for Mimico. Oh, you got that going for you.
Brendan Shanahan did that?
Yes, he did. And Mark's down in Ottawa. Brought on by Lorenz. Wrist shot off a stick and it went wide. Caroms to the far boards, and it's to the line, but not out. Keeping alive, Lorenz barges in on the wing. Got it into the corner for Yarncrook. Lawton trying to free it up on the boards. Lorenz hovering around out in front. Lawton around back of the net, trying to bull his way in front. Turns it through the blue paint. No one can get a stick on it. Kept in at the point. Morgan Riley back to the defense on the far side. Brendan Carlos' wrist shot didn't make it through. Good pressure here from the Maple Leafs as one of the Senators has broken his stick. That is Tyler Clevin. The puck along the boards. The Leafs get it freed up. Lorenz couldn't get it back to the point though. And it is Giroux skating to the red line and just sending it into the Toronto zone. Good shift for the Leafs. Fourth line again, and I put the fourth in quotation marks, as Riley sends the pass way up at center for Nyes. Nyes trying to chip it free and does for Marner, but Marner overskated it. Cleared off the bodies and out at center ice. And it is grabbed off there by OEL up on the left wing. And one of the Nyes was being pinned to the boards inside the zone by Zub. And how's that not interference, says Matthew Nyes.
Especially if it put him offside, right?
Well, yeah, the puck had gone all the way to center ice. And Nyes couldn't get out. And Zub just had his arm draped over the boards at the bench, holding him offside.
Whereas the referee did come over and say, hey,
stop that. Not nice.
Yeah. Well, you're leaving out that Knight had him in a headlock first, so I'm sure the referee saw that and decided not to call either of them.
To set up the go-ahead goal here in the
Listen, I'm a Leafs fan, but I'm not with that unnecessary bias bullshit. Call it for what it is, not what you want to see.
Tavares against the boards. Now Bobby McMahon on this line with Tavares and Nylander. Played down into the Toronto zone. Benoit drives his man into the corner, and that was Batherson. Back of the net, Tavares. Off on the wing for Nylander. Nylander starts out. Got the pass ahead. That is down into the zone, but it misfires. Goaltender plays it around the wall, and it's going to come all the way back out at center ice. Tanev and McCabe will shoot it right back down into Ottawa territory. Olmark left it back of the goal. Senators work it up the boards. Matthews trying to keep it in. Did. Martin on the near wall, trying to reverse his field. Got it back to the point, but it got past McCabe, and it comes out at center ice. McCabe back for Matthews. He mishandles the puck. Played to the line, but stolen back. Matthews in on the left wing. Back checking diligently there with the Senators to break up the rush. And it is Greg trying to get it down into the Leaf zone, and he does now to Amadio. Amadio dropping it back, and Austin Matthews back checking there diligently. Took that away from him. Leafs break it out with Morgan Riley to center. Up on the right side for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg into the slot, and he couldn't maintain possession there as it's cleared out at center ice, and David Perron trying to get in over the line. Couldn't. Domi, one hand's in for Morgan Riley. Wrist shot is gloved high by Olmark, and he will stop play with a face-off coming in the Ottawa zone.
I don't know if there's a stat for it, but Pontus Holmberg may be one of the league leaders in almost great plays. He's had about 3 of those tonight where he almost beat a man to get into a great scoring chance, but had it knocked away.
8:57 left, third period, 3-2 Ottawa.
Let's go Maple Leafs. Let's go Maple Leafs. I said it already, let's go Maple Leafs. So we're just under the 9-minute remaining mark of the third period. Shots on goal are 20-14 for the Leafs, but the score is 3-2 to Ottawa. They are fighting for their playoff lives. I mean, I guess that's what you should say. To be honest, it doesn't seem like either of these teams really want this game that hard. There's certain players. Kachuk's playing hard. Nyes is playing hard. That Leafs fourth line is playing hard. Seems to be a few players though who just are a little sleepy. This is Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go live remix. Hit up the chat with a Go Leafs Go. Go Leafs Go. and get ready to finish off this third period.
Coming in the third period by Perron from Zub. And breaks the 2-2 tie as the Senators are trying to stave off elimination. Gaudette drew an additional assist on the goal. Puck in the Ottawa end. Centering pass, broken up. Tavares got it in front of the backhand by McMahon. Went wide. He gets it again. Bobby McMahon coming out in front of the goal crease. Tavares swept at it, and a great save made by Olmark. That's his best save of the game right there. Maybe of the series.
Well, and that was all positioning. He was just down on the butterfly, and Tavares swatted at the loose puck. Stützle, by the way, getting the headlock on John Tavares, pulling him back. But a good power move by Bobby McMahon to get it out to the blue paint. But
interesting.
Really for Allmark, this was just, it was shoveled into him because Tavares was so tight.
Interesting decision. McMahon moved up here.
Yeah. Well, I think he said, I know they scored the goal at the end of the first period. Tavares did, but 5-on-5. For the most part, the Tavares-Nylander combination has been very quiet in this series.
Long pass out at center, and it's played down into the Toronto end. Tanev going back with McCabe trying to help out. Tanev got lifted off his skates, and McCabe pins Tkachuk up against the boards. Brady Tkachuk trying to get it free, and it comes around to the near side. Jensen can't shoot it at the net. Cut off there in the corner, and it is played up on the wing, but cut off. And then the Leafs intercept the bad pass and send it ahead. And here's Nylander in over the line. Shooting! No, he just missed that near post. And a big hit there as Pontus Holmberg is able to come back and break up a rush. Not sure who delivered the hit. Was that Benoit?
I think it was Benoit.
It was Benoit.
On the boards.
Big old Benny with the ball.
When the camera pulls away after a big hit to follow the play, you can't really tell who delivered the big hit. Back into the Ottawa zone it comes. Clevin takes a hit. The puck comes to the side of the goal. A backhand in front. Oh, great chance for Pacioretty.
Patches.
There by Olmark.
Oh.
Leafs are pressing with 7.5 minutes to go.
Feel the pressure rising.
Gets it out at center. Domi couldn't get in over the line. And the Senators are regrouping the puck. Sanderson for Zub. Zub got it ahead, and it's backhanded by Zetterlund into the Toronto end. Morgan Riley turns it up ice. Got it ahead for Matthews. Matthews in with Marner. A pass in front. Nyes had to go off the heel of his stick. Senators don't get it out. Riley, far side, and a drive is blocked. Senators trying to play it ahead. Broken up at the defense. Marner back checking, and it's cleared into the Toronto zone. Morgan Riley and Nyes up against the end boards. Dug out by Gregg. Couldn't get it in front. Back to the point it comes. Shabbat in along the far side. Gregg back to Shabbat. Wrist shot coming. That is off the mark wide. Pinto back along the boards. Amadio to the point. D to Jensen. Jensen into the slot. Tipped into the corner again. Leafs down there as it goes around back of the net. Gregg to the point to Shabbat. Shabbat can't shoot it at the net. Tried to angle it into the corner. Backhanded to the line, but Shabbat is there again. Into the slot for Pinto. A shot wide. Rebound near side. And a glove save trapped by Stolar.
I don't think that was going to be on net either, Joe. As Leafs continue to get opportunities. Nylander off the rush. Pacioretty on a bouncing puck. Holmberg just kind of threw it to the net. Oh, and yeah, get another look at that. Olmark just appears to get his glove on the Pacioretty attempt.
That swapped it
Still fluttered up in the air towards the goal, but was knocked down in midair by Clevin.
Clevin saved the game.
That was going in.
Yeah.
Leafs win the face-off in their own zone. Punch it out into neutral ice.
That's the save of the
Nylander
game for the
couldn't come
Sens
up
so
with
far.
it. Tavares gets it back. The Leafs organizing in their own end. Benoit for Bobby McMahon. Got it ahead. Nylander and Tavares can't get in over the line. Benoit circles back. He has it to his defense partner in a long lead pass. Onto the left wing for McMahon. Drops for Tavares. Tavares trying to come to the net. He does. That was stopped. The rebound back to the point. McCabe keeps it in. Nylander in the near corner.
Come on, Willie.
Cross ice pad. They score! OEL! Up the rush. Comes in from the right point. And Nylander
Good look, Willie.
Tie game 3-3.
Hit him with the horn.
Long talk during the regular season about lack of offense from the defense. Well, Ekman Larsson opened the scoring in this series, and he has tied it up, sneaking down from the right point. And Willie Nylander,
Ties
great
the game
vision
at
to
3.
look up from the boards to the right of Ullmark, to the face-off circle, to his left, and Nylander delivered the perfect pass. It was Tim Stützle that got caught watching and didn't pick up OEL going to the net, and the Leafs have tied it.
There's McCabe into the offensive zone, around back of the net. In front of the goal it comes. Lorenz with a shot. That went over top of the goal. Long back to the point to the side of the goal.
The buds are buzzing.
Past Ullmark into the corner off the stick of Yarncroc.
Said if the Sens want this, they're gonna have to fight.
In the neutral zone. Lorenz takes a hit but gets the puck in deep. And back after it is Tyler Clement.
What a couple of smart plays, though.
Yeah.
Nylander and Ekman Larsson as well.
There's 4:37 left to play in the third period. We are tied at threes in game 4. Puck along the boards pushed ahead for Pacioretty. He's unable to muscle it out, but he has it up against the boards. It comes back to the point, and a shot taken by Chabot went well wide of the goal. Leafs get it to the line, but not out. Jensen keeping it in. Back of the net, it comes to the side. Up on the wing now for Pacioretty. He's going to get it out, and it's rolling on edge. Down the ice for an icing. I have to suggest Craig Berube is going to have words with Mark Savard again. Well, he almost jumped on the ice. He was onto the bench and in full flight. And I thought, this isn't going to end well.
Ottawa still going the last.
The score is 3-3. With 4 minutes remaining in the third period.
Leafs have outshot them 15-4 since the end of the first period.
Stützle backpedals off to Sanderson.
For a total of 24-14.
Sanderson works to the red line and fires it in. Round on the boards, it'll be pushed back into the corner to Tanev. Round the wall it comes to McCabe. Up on the boards, and the Leafs are out into neutral ice.
Ottawa's really going to have to turn it up because the Leafs are going to just take their time now.
Anderson reverses
and they're buzzing when they got the puck.
Pinto
Look at
gets it ahead, and a lead pass gets the Sanderson in over the line with a long shot. And the stick of Tanev elevates that easily up into the screen and out of play. The Maple Leafs have tied the game on another defenseman coming in off the far side, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson makes it 3-3.
Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. OEL sneaking in, and Nylander finding him for what is the game-tying goal. How we feeling now, Leafs fans? Can the Leafs find another here and put it away? Or are the Sens going to dig deep? Pull another one out? It's really hard when you're this far behind and you think getting a lead. All you got to do is maintain that lead, but then Toronto comes right back. So you're going to have to dig deep Do you have it, Ottawa Senators? And now Maple Leafs, do you have it? Smart plays. Keep playing the way you've been playing. If you don't make mistakes, you will get your opportunities. It's coming down to the wire. Keep it tuned in for the final minutes of the third period. Blue Snot, Go Leafs Go Live Remix.
Changes. Lorenz couldn't get it in over the line, and it's cleared back down into the Toronto zone. Matthews might have just been out there taking an extra shift, too.
Yeah, who was it? Yarn Croc that was not out there?
Yeah. Lead pass at center. In over the line, too far. Goes around to the far corner. Sanderson had it blocked, kept in by the Maple Leafs off the boards. In along the wall, Tavares unable to get it in deep the first time, does the second. Nylander got high stick there by Zub without a call, and the puck comes up on the left wing side, and it is played in over the line by Tkachuk. Into the corner now for Stützle. He was bodied as OEL couldn't come up with the loose puck on the far side. It comes to the point. Long shot wide of the Leaf goal. McMahon just getting it out at center and down, and it's going to be covered up here by Zub with Nylander hovering around. And then Nylander gets a real impressive nose-to-nose discussion there with Jake Sanderson. Ooh, that was scary. Weren't you frightened? I was scared.
I'm not sure what kind of clever line you can have with that either. I mean,
and you, of all people, for you to suggest that, I do not believe it for a moment. You would have had something.
No, I can't imagine what he would. I would have got punched in there.
Minute 58 to go. Shot down into the Toronto end. Morgan Riley swinging it around the boards. It'll come to the near side. Knies has it under control and plays it out at center. Matthews trying to come in, and a pass from Marner that just failed to connect. Now Zub trying to work back for Ottawa. Got it out at center.
Last minute and a half.
Intercept, play it back in. Knies will pressure. Round back of the net. It comes to the near corner. Shabbat dropping it back for his defense partner, Nick Jensen. Jensen down the right wing boards, shoots it in. Around the wall, it'll come to the far side. Let go by Tanev. Grabbed off by Domi, and Max comes to center. A pass in on the left wing for Pacioretty. Pacioretty carries it to the slot. It rolls in front of the goal, and Domi took a swat at it, but it was knocked into the corner. Senators get it back into the Toronto end with 1:03 to go in the third. Are we headed for a third straight overtime game?
Feels like overtime already, doesn't it?
McCabe has it back of the net. 48 seconds to go. Waiting patiently for the fourth line to come over the boards. Puck at center ice. Backhanded in now for Lorenz. Lorenz gets his man to stumble, has the puck along the wall, trying to get it back to the point, and he does. Oliver Ekman-Larsson a shot. That's Lucky, gets it again. Into the slot again, and a wrist shot was wide. Lawton looking for a puck. Back to the point again. Near side, OEL. Larson trying to get it into the slot. Gives it to Scott Lawton, a pass in front, and Lorenz couldn't deflect it. Back to the goal it goes. Lorenz with it again. 12 seconds left. Oliver Ekman-Larsson for Yarncrook. Yarncrook shot.
5 seconds.
5 seconds left. Centering pass doesn't work. 2 seconds.
Wow.
That'll do it.
Well, back-to-back games, it was Ottawa that scored third period period goals to tie it up.
Fourth line pressure.
This time they enter the third period even. Ottawa takes the lead.
What a
That's
shift.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who almost orchestrates the winning goal before the end of regulation, but Ekman-Larsson jumping down from the right point and taking the pass from Willie Nylander from the far corner, and one-timing it past Ullmark, sending it to overtime. And what I liked about this game, the Leafs got better as it went on, and I think Joe is now, we quickly look
Shots
at the shots on
five in the last two periods for the Ottawa Senators.
They gave him a fourth one.
They gave him two in the second period, I believe.
Only
one
in the second, three in the third.
Three in the third. All right.
Yeah, so what is it? 16-4. Leafs outshot them.
Yes.
In the last two periods,
But
which
they've still scored
is
goals.
pretty telling. Leafs did not come out sharp, but certainly got better as this game has gone on, which means absolutely nothing going into overtime.
Goal comes at 14:31. Oliver Ekman-Larsson's second of this postseason from Nylander and McCabe to send the game to overtime. Jim Taddy, along with Anthony Stewart, working overtime, along with Cameron Moore and Alex Mandarino here in the studio at TSN, and it is a 3-3 tie. You're listening to
Well, ain't that something? Personal opinion, Sens do not look desperate enough. Certain players on the team do look like they want it, but most of the team just does not seem to be into it. Just my observational opinion. Now that doesn't mean they're not in the game and don't have a chance to win. We're going into overtime where anything can happen. Are we excited? We are one goal away from finding out who is going to win Game 4. Will the Leafs close out, show some killer instinct, and sweep the series? Or will the Sens find a way to fight back, get a goal, get that one game they need to get them back into it? It's intermission. Have a stretch, rehydrate, get a snack. Just don't forget to come back for overtime. Blue Snot, Go Leafs Go, live remix.
And from that point, they were down 2-0 in the series to Quebec. They would only lose 2 more games, so they went 16-2 the rest of the way. But 10 of those wins coming in overtime. The only one they lost in extra time was the very first game of the playoff.
That's something just absolutely astounding.
What?
Well, we're going to overtime here for the 3rd straight game. And the Ottawa Senators are facing elimination. And the Toronto Maple Leafs trying to sweep them aside with their 3rd straight overtime win.
See it in Toronto where you
It's
have
a new
that
definition of sudden death.
series. And that just the shock of the building. Last time that happened a couple of years ago against the Florida Panthers. Of course, we all still know the shock of
Here we go.
the Boston Bruins scoring overtime.
3-3. It's overtime. Game 4. Leafs have a chance to sweep the series. The Sens season is on the line. Who's going to be the hero tonight? Does Simon Benoit have another one in him? Is it going to be one of the big guns?
Doesn't shoot it, holds it off, got it back into the slot for Nylander. Nylander down the boards, runs out of real estate, but gets the puck back. Nylander around back of the net. Nylander still with it. Tavares was checked in front of the goal and a shot coming wide. Tavares is just getting up now, but no call from
Really?
the official. John Tavares gets to the bench and is hunched over, but appears to be all right. But the Sens send a shot wide of the goal. It comes to the left point. Jabot keeping it in around back of the net. Tip to Yarncrook, who plays it back into the corner. A shot from a sharp angle went wide. Rebound to the line and just kept in, and now to Chuck. Back of the net, centers.
Don't let that no call take the wind out of your sails.
Canham trying to reverse the puck back of the net, but it's cut off by Cousins. Cousins trying to center, had it blocked. Far side, Senators with a shot down is Stolarz, and he's got a hold of it. I want to see the John Tavares hit.
Yeah, he was down a long time in front of the net, and not so much taking him out of the play. Yeah, it was kind of ran into Zub. I don't know if
Bit of an elbow right to the mouth. That was a wow, and no call.
Away from the play, so obviously neither official saw it, or if they did see it.
Johnny's just seeing it for the first time on one of the tablets back at the bench.
He's already felt it.
Yes, Leafs win the face-off, but the good news is he appears to be all right. Long pass ahead. Nyes gets in over the line.
There we
Works
go.
into the corner, into the slot. And the pass was intercepted, and it's brought back the other way by Amadio. Michael Amadio in over the line. Dropping it off with a pass into the slot. And it was knocked wide of the Leaf goal, and it's punched out at center ice. Nyes to Matthews. Matthews going wide. In with a shot. That's caught and held by Ullmark.
Well, Ullmark looked like he fought that off, didn't he? Rather long range, but Matthews a little toe drag. Got it past the defenseman, but that was from between the blue line and the top of the circle. And Ullmark had to move blocker side, far side to be able to knock it down. But
Matthews was hoping for a rebound off the blocker as Nyes was going hard to the net. 2 shots on goal for Austin Matthews tonight.
3-3 in overtime.
Face off in the circle to the
Game
right of
4.
Ullmark.
Tavares not out on this line with
Nylander, Domi, and a pass in front, deflected off his skate, and it went just wide. Pacioretty is out there with Nylander and Domi, so some line juggling being done here by Leafs coach Craig Berube. Back of the net, Morgan Riley to Brendan Carlo. Carlo gets it up on the wing for Pacioretty. To the red line, and in it goes. Around the boards to the far side, gobbled up there by Nylander. Trying to come to the front of the net, and it was blocked. Nylander getting it around on the boards. Nylander into the slot. Pacioretty can't get a shot away. Senators are going to get it out at center. Chabot in on the left wing. Played around back of the net, gobbled up by Nylander. Nylander works up the left wing boards. Gets to the red line, backhands it in. Bouncing in on goal, Ullmark leads. Stützle will turn back in his own territory. Tim Stützle waiting for teammates to swing. Got it up on the left wing. Brought to center by Tyler Clevin. Pass intercepted by Benoit. For Kelly Yarncrook. Sent into the zone. Lorenz will provide forechecking. Almost stole that pass back of the net. Sens get it out.
Matthews gets it.
Puck stolen back by Toronto. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it ahead. And it's down off a stick into Ottawa territory. Played up on the left wing and out in center it comes. Zub getting it down in over the line. Broken up by the Leafs but kept alive there on a play by Pinto. And now Marner takes it around back of the Toronto goal. He's looking up ice with a long lead pass. Finds Matthews to center and across the line on the left wing where McMahon and a shot. That is, where is it? Somewhere underneath the pads of Olmark, and he's going to hang on to it. That was a little dangerous.
Yeah, he was searching, wasn't he? We know Bobby McMahon's got a great release. And that was a little backhand pass to the left wing boards.
It was on top of the pad, I guess, yeah.
And McMahon, I think, obviously, well, actually just under the skate.
Under the
Olmark, yeah.
That's where it was.
Bobby McMahon probably learned from Simon
Right on
Benoit
the
last
toe.
game. Overtime, get it to the net.
Get it to the net.
Get it to the net.
3 minutes and 42 seconds, which is longer than the previous 2 overtime games. Up ahead for Kachuk. He'll shoot it into the Toronto zone. Down the boards along the walls. Riley lost it. It's centered in front. It comes back to the point. Here's a chance for Jensen to get it off on the right wing, and a shot is deflected easily into the near corner. Nylander can't get to it. Oliver Ekman-Larsson rings it around the boards, but it won't clear. Kept in at the point by Jensen.
Got to put
Back
in
to the
a
net,
bit more
Kachuk
on
trying
that.
to center. Blocked. Centered again. Blocked again. Leafs get it out at center ice and down into the zone.
Go, Bobby.
Racing after it is McMahon. McMahon into the corner. Played it around to the far side. Centering pass. That was wide of the net from Matthews. Kachuk gets it out. Senators getting a change going. Send it in. Tanev around back of the net. And Tanev is going to get high sticked in the mouth. And if he can bleed, it's going to be 4. Senators are going to be a man short.
Whoa.
They've scored a short-handed goal. But the Leafs' power play has been dynamite in this series.
Well,
Oh, boy, took his...
Right up, yeah. This is Batherson trying to lift the stick of Tanev, doesn't come close. And from behind him, and right in front of the referee, gets it right into the nose of the Leaf defenseman. We will see. Now Tanev is now coming over saying, look, boys, I'm bleeding. I think this is going to be 4.
4 minutes.
Whoa.
And the
Ruh-roh, boys.
brought to you by Subaru. Hurry
This
to
could be
Subaru
trouble.
For great offers and experience all the features that come standard in a Subaru. So a double minor to Batherson for high sticking.
Now this in the Colorado game where the Avalanche had extended time in the power play. And they ended up losing that game, so you would have thought, I think it was, about 30 seconds left. It was a 4-minute power play call. Chris Tanev looks like he might have to go to the dressing room for some repairs. He's bleeding pretty good over the Leaf bench.
Draw to the right.
Go, Leafs, go. Go, Leafs, go. Go, Leafs, go.
Puck is
Go,
dropped.
Leafs, go.
Matthews. Here's Riley back at the point. Off in the wing to Nylander. Nylander looking in front. Goes back to the blue line. Marcus Riley is there. I don't believe Tavares is on the ice. He isn't. Has it fouled it? And a shot by Matthews went just wide. Into the corner. Back to the point it goes. Riley from Nylander. Riley to Marner. Marner works down the right wing. Still with it into the corner, centering pass. Off a skate to Willie. Nylander against the boards. Trying to free it up, but it's stolen.
Jeez,
Blocked
Willie.
on a clearing attempt. Marner keeping it in.
Good job,
Down
Mitch.
into the corner it
Don't give it
goes.
back to Willie, though.
Nice. Round the boards to the near side. No one there.
Now, I don't know if Tavares is still hurt from that play earlier in the overtime.
Here's Marner.
Just
Cross the line.
figuring
to
that out.
Nylander closing. Still with it in the slot. Near side, a shot by Nyes was stopped by goaltender Olmark. Nice to the point.
Here we go.
Riley.
This is it.
Far side Marner. Near side Matthews. Top of the circle. Still with it. Dishes off to Marner. Fake shot. Still has it. Back to the point. Matthews once more. To Marner. Pass down low block. Rebound in front. Still free. They bang away at it.
Ooh, it's right there.
Matthews again. Down low. Willie.
Here it is.
Go to the short side and flip it in.
That was
Had
a
it
little
blocked. Back to the net. Centering pass. Stopped by by the Leafs, and a shot blocked there by Omar. Cleared finally by Ottawa.
Well, we have not seen John Tavares yet. And you wonder at this point, does Craig Berube call a timeout if they get a whistle?
Domi brings it to center. First penalty about to expire. Domi into the corner. Trying to get it away. It goes back to the net for Bobby McMahon. McMahon off the boards to the point. Played to the near side to McCabe. McCabe to the left wing side. Oliver Ekman-Larsson now to Domi. Domi back in front of the net. It comes back to OEL. OEL with a wrist shot deflected wide. Rebound to the Senators and shot down the ice. Stolar's leaving it there. Minute 35 to go in the power plays.
Minute and a half left in this power play, guys.
Dropping it back. Nylander comes
You have
to
a
the
dominant
line.
power
Left
play.
wing side, nice. Can't drive the net. One
You can
hands it
put
back
the
to
series
point.
away
Send into the near
right
corner,
now.
but there's no one there. Pens
That's
are gonna
not
go.
how.
I still no Tavares show.
Here's
He's hurt,
Sturgeon.
obviously.
Couldn't get a shot at the net.
I'm not sure he's on the Leaf bench.
He's hurt, obviously. Come on.
Up on the left wing for Nyes. Played into the left wing corner.
He doesn't
Nyes
miss
gets
a
it
power
freed up
play.
for
He's obviously
Matthews.
hurt.
Back to the net for Nyes. Nyes battles for it. Puck still free. Nyes is going to get to it on the far wing and
They
get
can't
it
let
back
that
to the
affect
point.
them. They have
Nylander
tons
on the right
of
side.
assassins with the puck.
Marner holds. Far half board still with it. 44 seconds.
44
Gives it
seconds to
Willie.
prove it.
Nylander top of the circle. Still with it. Plays it down low for Marner. Back to the goal. Nyes is stationed in front.
Go.
Coming out with the backhand was Marner, but Olmark able to cover up on it. And do you call your timeout now? But only 31 seconds to go.
I think you do. I thought at first maybe Riley was out because the Leafs had given up that short-handed goal earlier in the game, but now after John Tavares took the elbow from Zub early in overtime.
Oh, the backhand there by Matthews, or the forehand glances off the goal post.
Even Oliver Ekman-Larsson's opportunity just glanced off the shoulder of Allmark and over top of the net.
And the Leafs have, in fact, called timeout.
It really is one of those moments where you're saying you may never really get another opportunity in overtime to do this.
Yep.
33
Gotta take
to
advantage of
15
these chances.
shots favoring the Toronto Maple Leafs. And since the end of the first period, the Leafs have outshot the Ottawa Senators 24-5.
Well, here we go.
Matthews had the best opportunity in the.
Oh, did he ever? Yep.
Here we go.
31 seconds left in the power play.
Blue Snot. Go Leafs go. Live remix. Overtime. Can the Leafs pull it out in this 30 seconds of overtime? Power play. Power play.
Nylander taking it.
Yes, he is. And he wins it cleanly, but too cleanly. It comes
Willie.
and into neutral ice. 24 seconds left. Riley dropping. Here's Marner to the red line. Played it in off the left wing for Matthews.
Here we go.
Matthews went down into the corner after it. Back to the net, Marner. It's chipped into the near corner. Nylander blocking it. Can't get it in front. And shot down the ice by Ottawa, and that's going to do it.
4-minute power play.
Huge.
Killed. This is huge for Ottawa.
And the Leafs do not get too many good chances.
Now, can they use that momentum to their advantage?
Yarncrook was just off the mark.
Or Toronto keep dominating the play?
After it. Marner back along the boards for Scotty Lawton. Into the corner for Yarncrook. Yarncrook bodied there by Stutzla. Has it up against the fence. They continue to battle for it. Yarnprick continues to drag it free. Got it back to the point. D to D looking for Oliver Ekman-Larsson, but it went off a stick. And the Senators get it to the line and in. On the wing, Batherson going wide. Sends it in.
Stolars.
Stopped by Stolars. He's got it.
Boy, Simon Benoit, the hero of Game 3 in overtime, tried to go D to D with Ekman-Larsson, and the puck flipped on him and was easily picked off inside the Ottawa line, and that led to the odd man rush the other way. Then throw it to the front of the net. Leaf defense do a pretty good job boxing out. The Senators still able to sweep it towards the net. Boy, Steven Lorentz got back and stopped the first one.
Yes, he did.
And then the second attempt almost stuck through the pads of the Leaf goaltender.
Almost.
Face off in the circle to the left of Stolars. 10:44 left in the first overtime period. Tkachuk lost the draw. Played back to the net for Tanev. Tanev gets it out for Lorenz. His pass intercepted by Tkachuk. He sends a long shoot in wide of the Leaf goal. Tanev reverses the puck for McCabe. McCabe got it up on the wall to the near side. Lorenz gets it air-mailed high to center. A glove pass, though, will be touched here by Tkachuk as Lawton stepped into him. That was a freebie. That was one where you go, you know what? If he touches this, I'm drilling him. And guess what? The whistle's going to go, and who cares?
Well, there was no signaling the fair catch, was there?
No, there wasn't. That was good knowledge of the rule book. We have not seen a pan of the Leaf bench.
John Tavares.
John Tavares is not there, I don't believe.
He's not been out since the first shift, and proof of that, Max Domi out with Nylander and McMahon.
Face off, control. Now, whether he's had to go to the quiet room because of the rules or not, but that was an elbow that should have been called and wasn't. Here the Sens in with a shot that is gloved by Stolars. Trying to drive in on the right wing was Zetterlund.
10-10.
And Fabian Zetterlund unable to beat the glove hand of goaltender Anthony Stolars.
Third shot for Ottawa here in overtime. Stolars just had one shot in the two previous overtimes combined.
Let's hear those Leafs fans.
Face off in the Toronto zone with 10:09 to go in this first overtime period. And the draw scrum, but the Senators come away with it. Greg into the corner, going wide, trying to jam it out in front of the goal. There's a scramble on, and the puck comes back to the point. Sanderson shot it over top of the net.
Get that puck.
Nice can't get to it. Zoom keeping it in. Round on the boards, it's going to come to the near wing. Sanderson sends it to the net. Stolars is there again to take it on the chest. Tense moment there for the Leaf defense on the scramble in front of the net.
Boy, Sanderson just he's got a pretty lethal shot. He's at the top of the left wing circle. Now, you got a break. Is this going to be one of these
scraping
the ice break?
I don't believe we have a commercial break in the overtime. I can't see. The boys are shaking their hands. No, in the control room here we can see them. Oh, no.
We're getting another.
Got anything exciting to talk about?
No, just another look at the elbow to the head, Sub on John Tavares. We said that wasn't called, but the Leafs did get 4-minute power play on a high stick. Rick Batherson on Chris Tanev. Leafs had some chances, but Ottawa battled, and Linus Ullmark made a couple of big stops.
Leafs had some good looks during the power play. Nylander a deflection, a scramble in front of the goal, one off the goal post, but unable to beat Ullmark. And then Stolars has had to be good at the other end as well, and a lot busier than any other overtime that he's had this year.
A lot of scrambly stuff.
Hey, John's back.
Johnny Tavares back onto the ice.
I got it covered.
It was a trip to the quiet room.
Yep. Takes a quick spin.
Yep.
Great news. So Tavares is back on the bench.
Unfortunately, was not available
for the
the 4-minute
no kidding.
power play. Although
Yeah,
you still,
could have been
part
used.
of me still
Would have
thinks,
been useful.
you know,
But
on overtime,
how it goes
get a
sometimes.
defenseman out there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a horrible thing.
9 minutes and 48
For
seconds left in
forwards to
overtime.
At least one defenseman on the ice, especially once you this.
Can the Sens save their season? Can the Leafs find the killer instinct? Who's going to be tonight's hero?
I always wanted 4 defensemen.
Yes. Puck down in the Toronto zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it to Lawton. Lawton got it to the line, but Yarncrook couldn't get it out. Now
Benoit
Benoit's
got
been
hurt?
knocked down and was holding his head. And then Oliver Ekman-Larsson was knocked down by Tkachuk. The Leafs get it out on the wing. Oliver Ekman-Larsson
I
can't get
missed
to
it.
it. Shot right back into the Toronto zone. Had a couple of cheap shots there from
I mean, every time you see somebody, there was a Leaf lying on the ice.
was Tkachuk that was there. Leafs get it back under control in their own zone. Yarncrook gives it off to the defense. Brandon Carlo has it, or at least Oliver Ekman-Larsson has it back of the net. 9 minutes left to go in the first overtime period. Long lead pass by OEL gets to center. Nylander backhands in over the line. Hustling in after it was Max Pacioretty. But it comes around to the far wing, and it's brought out by Perron to get it into the Toronto zone. Out of the net is Stolars to play it back into the far half boards. That puck is knocked free. Leafs are going to get it up on the wing. Nylander needs to get it out, but he carries it back into his own zone. Round on the far side and now set out at center ice, and Pacioretty works in over the line to just flip it in. Brought right back again now by Sanderson. Sanderson on the left wing got it up and played off a stick into the Toronto zone. Stolars will just leave it there this time, and it is Morgan Riley back of the goal.
Come on, Mo.
Leafs 3 and Ottawa 3. We are
8:08
in the first overtime
remaining.
period. Nice.
Here we go. Here we go.
Across the line for
Ooh,
Matthews. Oh, he
just
grazes the
missed.
far post, and it comes out at center ice.
Well, there was room there too, wasn't there?
Tanev left it on the right wing boards. Gets it to the line. Nyes gets it in a little deeper. And Amadio turns back and sends it into neutral ice and down into the Leaf zone. Jake McCabe turning for Toronto. A pass ahead. Marner trying to get it in. Matthews is going to get it to the line, but not in cleanly. And now Marner sends it back into neutral ice, waiting for teammates to change, but gave the puck away. Then stolen back adroitly. Gets it ahead for Max. Domi on the wing with a shot. Oh, and Omar.
There's a couple Maxes on this team.
Pad him wide of the net. Here's McMahon to the point. Oh, Oliver Ekman-Larsson back of the goal. Domi too well covered. Pinching is Benoit. Domi after it as well. McMahon can't come up with it. And Shabbat will send it high to center ice. Bouncing wide of the Leaf goal, but no icing.
Icing.
Oh, I stand corrected. It was icing.
It was
I'd like to get a look at Leafs that ended up being befelled back in front of in their own end in front of Anthony Stolars.
That go off the post
a little earlier. Oh boy, yeah, Max Domi. I mean, he put it in that soft spot for a goaltender.
7 minutes remaining in overtime. 3-3 game. 3-0 series lead.
Matthews line out here.
Let's get height.
Draw to the right. One cleanly by Ottawa. Rattled around the boards and out at center ice for Tkachuk. He's going to get it the rest of the way, and there'll be a change of players. Played by Stolars out at center. Marner got it in over the line for Nyes, but out of his reach. He takes his man Zub to the boards with a punishing hit. Matthews couldn't come up with the loose puck. Brought on by Sanderson now for Ottawa. Sanderson with a backhand blockered away. That's turned over. Marner trying to come up with it with a nifty little move. Now bounces it in. Steered wide of the net by Olmar. He's able to control that. He's got Matthews going with him. Sanderson with it. Back in his own zone. Got it up on the wing for Batherson. Batherson down the left wing boards and into the Leaf end. Left wing corner, stood up there. Puck comes free to Tavares. Johnny gets it up on the right wing boards and punishes it out at center. McMahon for Nylander. Nylander in over the line going wide. Can't get a shot, pulls back. Works the line. Nylander going wide to the left wing side. Stop to Benoit. Shot was blocked in front. Senators back in over the line, though. Working in with a backhand pad save made by Stolars. He lost his stick there for some reason.
That's twice in the overtime he's dropped it.
Sharp angle shot blocked there by Olmark. Senators back in their own zone. Long alley-oop down to the Leaf end. Morgan Riley. Shoot it in wide.
Has a little.
Ottawa goal.
Go Leafs, go.
Senators trying to play it out. They do to Cousins, and he'll just play it into the Toronto end. Back of the goal, Morgan Riley. Bank pass to the line, but doesn't clear. Senators keeping it alive. Shabbat goes to the net, but the shot went wide. Kept in at the far point by Matapalo, now trying to keep it alive. Into the corner for Cousins. Cousins back of the net. Perron trying to come out. Still with it as it comes to the point. Shabbat, far side. Montepallo, a shot that went high and wide.
Get
Shabbat
that puck.
keeps it in.
Get that puck.
Banked into the corner and back of the net. Cleared by Riley, but cut off. Good
Don't
net.
get lazy now.
Back towards the point. Shabbat.
Shattered his stick.
Zoom breaks his stick. Leafs have a bit of a rush chance here, but bogs down.
4:20 remaining in overtime.
Sens get it back into the zone. Sharp angle stopped by Stolars and cleared to center ice by Toronto. 4:10 to go in the first overtime. Jensen to the line. Broken up by Pontus Holmberg. On the left wing side. Banding on the shot was Pacioretty.
Patches.
And the Senators get it out.
Patches wasn't ready.
Kachuk plays it into the corner, but Tanev will get there first. Played around the boards as Kachuk gave him a pretty good hit, but the Leafs get it to center. Pacioretty will shoot it in as he couldn't find the puck cleanly enough to get it ahead to Max Domi. Now Stützle to the Leaf zone. Goes wide and back of the net. Couldn't get it in front. Marner with some skating room to his liking. Comes out at center. He works to the line and in with Nyes, who takes the drop pass into the slot. A shot by Matthews. Rebound off the side of the goal. Matthews with it again. Sending it around to the defense. Trapped over here on the near side by OEL. Couldn't get it back of the goal to Matthews. Cleared to the line. Not out, I guess.
I think that was
they
out.
do get it out at center. Wow, that would have been. I think that's challengeable. An icing call here against Toronto on an errant pass. 3:02, and Austin Matthews coming very close to ending this one.
Matthews' line has looked dangerous at times here in extra time. Shots on goal have pretty much.
Sens have had a
evened
couple
out
chances
9-6 fight edge for the Leafs. Of course, they had the 4-minute power play that they couldn't cash in on. The bulk of their opportunities there.
So, face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Matthews lost the draw, kept in by Shabbat. He'll play it around back of the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Batherson fighting for it. Matthews adds support. Puck comes free. Benoit turns it back up ice. Benoit working down the right wing boards to the red line. Got it in over the line. Couldn't get it much deeper. Comes back at center where Marner has it under control. On the wing it goes. Working down the left wing boards, Bobby McMahon and around back of the net. McMahon taken to the wall. Puck is poked free. And the Senators are going to get it out into neutral ice. Brought forward now by Tyler Clevin. Clevin on his backhand. Off the shoulder. That's a pretty good shot. Off the shoulder of Stolars. Comes to the line, not out. Long shot, scores!
Oh, terrible goal. And the Sens find their way back into it.
Sanderson. A bit of a seeing eye shot from the point. And we will have a game 5 in Toronto.
Winning streaks end here with this Ottawa win as the Senators stay alive. And you sort of had that feeling, didn't you, Joe, that you're not going to score in a double minor in overtime. Like I said, Colorado went through that in their game against Dallas. Couldn't score it. Dallas came up with the winning goal.
Put the brooms away. The Sens are still in it.
Has had his first human game in a long time. He wasn't terrible. but he
Can we
wasn't
see the
outstanding.
replay on that goal? Because it
Sanderson
didn't look like a very good goal.
comes around the boards on a ring around, and he's simply, this is just from inside the blue line. Whips it towards the net. Well, this might have been deflected too, Joe. Now looking at a different angle.
Yeah, Stolars is going down, isn't he?
Yeah, somebody, I don't know whether it was a Leaf or if it was Zetterlund in front, but this might have hit Brandon Carlo or Zetterlund before going in past Anthony
Well, if it's
Stolars,
Zetterlund,
but
is it
usually
below
the
the bar?
bulk of Stolars would cover that up.
I
Just
think
kept
was
it
on
in, too.
Carlo's hip. And the Ottawa Senators win it in overtime.
Good on the
setup,
Senators.
game
They
number
needed that.
5,
Make it
which
in a
will
series.
be on Tuesday night. So we will have that action for you beginning at 7 o'clock. Game 5 against the Ottawa Senators as the Leafs will come home to try and wrap up this series as we've had 3 consecutive overtime games. This one ended on a goal by Jake Sanderson from the left point.
And the Leafs do outshoot Ottawa after the first period. They outshot Ottawa 26-12. But I think from a Leafs standpoint, Joe, it was really the start, right? You spot them a 2-0 lead. And the rest of the game's an uphill battle. They came back from the 2-0 lead, came back from a 3-2 deficit, but just unable to get the big goal at the right moment to finish this series off. So no series in the playoffs this year will be a sweep in the first round. And I told you this, the last team to sweep the first round and win the playoffs, Colorado Avalanche, 2021. Then you got to go back to Colorado in the early 2000s as the last team to do it. So maybe I wasn't going to bring that up at the Leafs won and swept, but maybe not the worst.
The other thing here is an uncalled elbow to John Tavares keeps him off
the
ice,
Yeah.
off that power play for the 4 minutes. And how big of an impact that had, we won't know. But he's been so good in front of the net.
And has certainly scored his share of big goals.
Yeah.
And including a series winner
Exactly.
for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So.
Well, we will ship it off to Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart for the post-game show as Sanderson sends us back to Toronto. Oh, well, back to Toronto. We're still here in Toronto. Anyway, we'll be at Scotiabank Arena for the game on Tuesday night. We hope that you will join us then. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell joined us.
Well. Good on the Senators. It's a tough battle for them. They pulled it out. Wasn't looking good a lot of the game. But let's really analyze it. They took a 2-0 lead early on. Important. Anytime the Leafs would claw back in, they wouldn't take the wind completely out of their sails, and they kept fighting. And then in overtime, they found a way to sneak one in. And this will be great for the future if the Leafs do not, or if the Sens don't end up winning this series, obviously. There's a lot to build on from here. Reminds me a lot of when the Leafs were here a few years back. Trying to learn what it takes to win. The Sens found a way, and good on them, they're back in the series. Now we go back to Toronto, where the Leafs will have opportunity to close it out. Didn't really seem like any team played too desperate tonight, which was a little surprising to me. We'll see how the next game goes. For all these fans, Game 5. Tune in next week. Blue Snot. Go Leafs Go. Live remix continues. We're not done. Looking forward to a long playoffs for these Leafs. Didn't get the sweep done. I'm confident they're going to close it out in Toronto. Tune in for the next game. Blue Snot Go Leafs Go live remix. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.